That's where we've been.
Uh, now we're gonna be extending every vowel with that, like,
Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
yeah, everything. Just gonna start doing that. Just over. That should be like the meme, like the challenge or whatever. Like, but anyway,
Oh, it's definitely about to happen. The
yeah,
It's
TikTok
about to
challenge for
happen.
that.
yeah, they gonna make some funny videos for sure.
That need to be the new good earner intro.
Ooh.
Whoa, Sopranos.
There you go. There you go.
There it is. Oh man, but y'all are
Man.
back. I know y'all are hopefully as excited as we are to, collaborate as the brothers here. Y'all ain't heard our voices in quite a while, it seems like. And y'all definitely haven't heard a true fashion of good earners reviewing the Sopranos, but we are back, man. And for those that have been here, welcome back. For those that are new, welcome to Good Earners, where we like to talk about family, finesse, and finances and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. I'm not alone. Of course, I got the two brothers that help make this show as great as it is, Spike Lou, Big Rich Town. How you fellas doing?
What's good? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, good people. What's happening? Good to be back. 2025. 10 more weeks. We out of here.
It's
Yeah,
dwindling
right.
down.
I know,
10
man.
more weeks. We out. We out.
For real, for real. But y'all know we've been gone for a few weeks, and we know y'all been waiting on it, and we made sure we left y'all with a special envelope, with the interview with Joseph Gandascoli and whatever happened there. And here we are. No.
What happened there?
Yeah. Now again, thank you, Joseph, for your time. We can never say thank you enough for that, man. And if you're listening still, man, hook us up with another a fellow actor, a peer that was in the show, man. We would love to get them on too, man. You can start this trend for us if you don't mind. So
It was great. I enjoyed that interview. He was very open, man. I know we talked about it at the end too. So
Now you talk about, man. I haven't said it to either one of y'all yet, but
okay.
I've been laughing about it for 3 weeks. Whenever we recorded, I've been laughing about this shit. Like randomly, I'll be out throughout the day and just laughing my dog Spike Lou. Cause my nigga Joe said I lost everything, and this nigga Spike with the dead serious said, "You remember what games they were?"
I remember what I said.
You remember what game that made you lose it all? Kind of like.
This nigga took him back to his darkest time and said, "Yeah, you remember them games?
Hey,
though?
but Spike, but Spike by this. Hey, you brought it up, so now since you brought it up,
that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, that's why I respected it. I was like,
that's I love it, man. That's why I just read that about nigga. There was no LOL. There was no Spike. Spike really wanted to know, like, hey man, what game?
What made you do that?
Spike
what game was that you was?
Spike really became Elliot Wilson, boy.
He said that shit happened in. He said that shit happened in like the early 90s. That nigga remembered the games, the quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
That shit hurt him.
I had to know how much it hurt. I was like, if he remembered the date, then I need to know how much it hurt. What games was it? Because I know if it hurt, you remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say, man. Remember, I don't know if anybody out there seen the movie Rounders, man. Matt Damon's character, he said, man, shit, I remember my losses. I don't remember none of my wins. I don't remember how I built my bankroll.
All my losses.
But I remember how I lost it. And that's how it is. That shit just randomly had me laughing, man, because that's some funny shit to do.
No, it is. It is.
It's only funny if you're not trying to be funny. And Spike wasn't trying to be funny.
Yep. That's like just real journalistic flavor right there.
Thank you.
It's like,
appreciate that.
Shout out to Spike Lou, man. The one and only.
Yeah, the one and only. Yours truly. But of course, I know I held off some of the emails and correspondence from the last one because we wanted to make sure we were cognizant of Joseph's time. But now that we're back, of course, y'all know how this thing goes. So we're going to get into our emails from the supporters of ours. If y'all haven't already and y'all would like to, goodearnerpod@gmail.com, as well as leave a YouTube comment, or y'all can hit us up on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. So getting into our first one from season 6, episode 11, Cold Stone. Barksdale Corners, he says, "Hey guys, great stuff as always. Carmela was absolutely giving him a pass with her quote, 'Do what boys do,' was saying, hey, go ahead and get it in." And that's what I was saying. Spike was like, I don't think she's. I'm like, bro, that's what she's saying. Yeah, I don't know how y'all didn't read that. He just dropped the bag for you to go over to Paris. She don't got nothing to give you in return, but let you be free.
Hey, you married, man. You know.
Hey, no,
speak back to it better than me.
Hey,
I would say you would know the tone more than
you.
I would.
I mean, but that go ahead.
My thing was just Tony don't need your permission. Like, so what was the point of you
gonna do that anyway?
Well, yeah, but it's you know, I
made
feel like
her
it
feel
was,
better.
Yeah,
it made her feel better.
Made her feel better, and then make him remember he kind of been filtering it a little bit. So in some subconscious way, could have made him feel better. I mean, obviously he got his joint copped in the car, but so yeah. All right, shout out to Barksdale Corner.
Love that name. Love that name.
Fire name. That there's the pod right there. We're gonna go ahead and take that name. Barksdale Corner. That's pretty good, huh? Hey, how much you want for that title, brother? Nah.
That's good right there.
That is. It's,
Damn,
Barksdale Corner is crazy. Our next one is from Kiori, also season 6, episode 11, Cold Stone. He says, in the Rosalie versus Gabby debate, all I have to say is, why did Carmela take Ro instead of Gabby? Plus, seeing Ro set Carmela straight regarding bringing Jersey to France is one of my favorite scenes of the episode. I'm team Rosalie the whole way.
That's a good point. Shout out to Kiori. I don't think that Gabby gonna put up with Carm like Rosalie. Rosalie gonna let, you got friends you can be a certain way with, but I don't think that Gabby that type of friend. She would have snapped off on you. Can't travel with all your friends. I'll say that.
No, Gab is more chill. I mean, Rosalie the one that keeps it a bean. Gabby she did kind of get off on that like women's speech empowerment thing that episode, but she ain't never really got with Carm like that.
That's what I'm saying. So if you don't really fuck with somebody and you like they do shit that annoy you and you don't really address it like Rosalie would, you're gonna be more frustrated with them on a trip because you ain't really saying like what's on your mind and shit. Like Rosalie ain't gonna be bothered. She don't give a fuck. She gonna tell Carm because that's her girl. That's her girl.
Yeah.
I don't think Gabby ain't gonna be able to tell Carm when she getting on her nerves. Like when he's 25, you're gonna go with him. Like Rosalie gonna be like, yes, bitch. Like Gabby, oh, you don't think? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You're right. Man, that's good insight. I love. We'll constantly have that until this is over with just the Rosalie and Gabby. But Gabby, to me, Gabby is more the ideal for like a trip like that. I don't know if she appreciates history and art like that, but I definitely think the shopping and that the flyness element of it, because Gab is like one of them type of housewives. I think that part, But I guess like you said, Rosalie is kind of like the meaningful friend where it's like it's gonna resonate deeper for her or whatever. So even though it didn't, but ideally.
Yeah. Gab gonna be over there talking about isn't this cool? Like your husband's the boss, mine is the consigliere. She would have just been making it a thing that it ain't.
Yeah, that's true.
Enjoy your time. Enjoy your time over here.
Yeah. Relax. Okay, so shout out to Kiori. Thank you for that. We got a Chris Falone hit us on IG, and he says, Mo, hope all is well. Man, crazy times over here with the newborn. Haven't been listening much, but hopping back on today. Hope all is well with the not glorified but the glorious Good Earners crew. Health and happiness to fam as always. God bless.
Nice, man. Happy holiday. Happy New Year to Chris
Happy
Malone.
New Year, man.
Congratulations again on the new
family.
The baby,
man. Shout out to Chris Malone, man. I feel like Chris Malone is he like the unofficial fourth.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. So yeah. Ashley hit us up as well on IG. She says, shout out to the women ladies. She said, hey, just wanted to shout out what's up. Finally caught up, and this latest episode, you guys are wild. I agree about Carmela just continuing to be a hater. She's the friend who hates on her other friends in the club with the stank face / attitude when everyone just try to have a good time. Always reminds me of the Chappelle Show club skit with the player haters just showing everyone to hate. Keep up the good work, and I sincerely wish you and all of your loved ones a Merry Christmas.
Look at Ashley with the Chappelle Show bag, man.
Hey, yeah, come on, Ash.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Ash. Thank you.
Yeah, that was dope. Our painter friend Matt Pexon, he just hit us, said, "Hey, nice score, congrats." He hit me on the text chain about that. He obviously seen we got that interview with Joseph, so short and simple.
Shout out to him.
What happened? What happened?
He texted me. I have his number. Matt Pexon. He's the one that paints. He's really talented.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Matt, man.
Yeah. So yeah, he just hit us and said, "Nice score, congrats."
Much appreciated.
We had a comment from our actual episode with Joseph. Black Johnny 9570 says, "I thought it wasn't real, but here we are. LOL. Good shit."
Hey, me neither, Black Johnny. Shout out to Mo, man.
Yeah, that's funny. Then when we made the post, shout out to Jordan. She says, "Y'all big time now," with the fire flame emoji. And then Joseph responded, "And well earned. They're good, yo." That's what Joseph said. And then she replied back to Joseph, "They are the best." Exclamation. Come on,
shout out to Jordan, man.
Shout out Jordan, the women ladies coming through.
Yeah, man, shout out Jordan.
Yeah, that's fire right there. Couple more here. Dan hit me. Surprisingly enough, he texted me. He said,
"My guy, my homeboy Dan."
Yeah, your homeboy Dan.
Oh, that's dope.
So he said, "You're a legend, bro." And sent the screenshot of like us the interview or whatever. So yeah, that was
that's Dan Fashion. That's dope, man. Mo made that happen, man.
I say, man, shout out Mo.
And our last one is from Monica. She says, "I appreciated your episode this week even more than usual. Thank you so much for doing it. We need things to bring us joy more than ever, and this podcast definitely counts. Luxury Lounge is not my favorite episode, parentheses, too much cringe, but I had to crack up at the poster about no tolerance for sexual harassment right behind Artie and Tony during their heart-to-heart conversation around the 47-minute marker. Priceless."
Yeah, you brought that up, did you, Rich?
Yeah, man. I think so, man. Luxury Lounge is one of my favorite, like, just comedy episodes.
Yeah, it's just so fun, so not serious.
It's just a funny, man. It's just not serious at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is all our feedback from the supporters of ours. Y'all know the handles. And I just, for those that didn't think that it was gonna happen, didn't believe it, I want y'all to understand that I'm the motherfucking one who calls the shots. All right, Spike Lou, what episode we do?
That's 2025 energy. Let's go.
That was great.
Yeah, I let that man up real quick.
This is season 6. This is episode 12. This is what the penultimate episode is. One more, or is this the last?
This the finale of 6A.
Season finale. I couldn't figure that out. Of 6A. All right. Tony has a message for Phil on behalf of the glorified crew from Jersey. Also, Carmela continues to wonder about Abe. Tony wants her to find another hobby. Chris opens up to Tony about his love life. AJ, he finds a reason to like his new job. And what about Fat Don? Your brother Billy, whatever happened there? Whatever happened there? This is season 6, episode 12, entitled Kaisha.
Kaisha. It's nice to meet you. Shout out to Another Bad Creation, man. That's what you make sure you put that. Make sure you put that song Aisha for the post, Mo.
Okay. Aisha.
I wish no, the song is named Aisha, but it'd be cool if we could do it like Kaisha.
Yeah.
Okay. Kaisha. Hey, man, shout out to that.
Yeah, I remember.
Shout out to that. And shout out to Yada Bing. It's a Soprano Seinfeld blend page. We talked a minute ago, and the whatever happened there on Sopranos is like the equivalent to the yada yada to Seinfeld.
Yada yada.
Yeah, kind of like you fill in the blank like whatever happened there. So it's the funniest thing, man. But anyway, so we get into it. Carlo, he grabs a frozen head. I guess it appears to be Fat Dom's fat head.
That'd be wild if it was someone else.
Shout out to John T. Patterson, that little thing that they put at the beginning. He was the guy that wrote all the finales up until this point.
Yeah, passed away after season 5, man. Shout out to him.
He wrote every series
first finale without him.
Yep.
Also, the only finale without a murder.
What, this one?
Yep.
In all the seasons.
Oh wow, you're right. Hey, that's crazy. Did it feel like? Well, I guess I don't know.
Maybe that's more of an emphasis on the mid-season break.
Maybe so.
Finale.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, pretty much he grabs Fat Dom's head and he drops it, in the sewer. Boy, all I had to add to it just seems like it's a lot in this world when you have to do stuff like that. Like you got to really, chop up bodies and move them to different locations and hold off for a little bit.
Art imitates life, man. Remember, they was just having a meeting about Cleaver. Dude, different parts all around. Yeah, man. We lived it. We lived it. Wow. Hey, nigga, this script, we ain't that creative. This shit came from shit we really do.
Wow. Is this ain't where is this at? Where did they put his head at? Y'all know?
I don't know. What did he say?
I don't know where it was. He said he drove up to Connecticut.
He's in Connecticut. It was to drop the head off.
Yeah.
But I was wondering what Jersey. I thought
somebody crib. Somebody.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like they put that in somebody's house. Like it kind of resembles that house that Tony bought up on the shore.
It had to be somebody's because he didn't have that head secured. It was just in the freezer. So nobody had to be living there. If you just open up the freezer and the head fall out, that's some explaining to do. Right. I believe it's one of Carlo's, properties, whatever the case.
That makes sense.
That's a nice little property. I thought it was all right. It's definitely a good little duck off. I definitely, it made me think about, it ain't the same, but it made me think about Vito's little duck off. Remember, right?
That's what it looked like. That's what made me ask. I was like, it looked like what Vito was at.
Yeah, Vito's joint. Yeah, that was a good little, But yeah, so then we go to the next scene, Phil and his Goomar. They almost get blown to pieces, which was obviously Tony's plan. So is Tony wanting to whack Phil because of Vito? Because all this is kind of certain parts of it is a little disjointed for me. Like understanding
it's definitely for Vito because he killed one of his captains. Even though he can't take credit for it. But I don't think he wants to whack him. But I think that if he got whacked, it's not going to be a big deal to Tony. I don't think he had the intent of doing it, but let's scare him and get as close as possible without actually doing it. Whacking
I understood
this
is
just bad for business.
Yeah, I understood this as a message, like for Vito, like you said, and the reason I think that is because of the next scene when he makes the call to Tony, he tells him that Phil was walking in there. Tony was pleased that he was not hurt, but on notice. Like this was just him letting Phil know, like, you ain't finna fuck with me because you don't think that Jersey is about their life. Like I'm still gonna get active out here. That's how I took it.
And where was this place they were going to? I forgot. I didn't quite catch. Was it just some restaurant type of deal?
That was another part of the message. Like they knew this where he hang out at, and when they sitting talking about it later, that's why they figured it's Jersey because it's some shit that they would pull, and they know that's where Phil hang out at. This wasn't no random thing. They wanted them to know it was them, but not be able to prove it.
Bro,
yeah, similar to remember when Big Carmine had his thing and they came and wrecked it, kind of the same.
Oh yeah, with the painting and all that. Yeah. It's crazy because it's like, bro, we've been watching how there's been this civil war within New York, obviously with Little Carmine and Johnny Sack, and then it went from that to Johnny Sack and Tony and them, and now this is a huge deal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're blowing up spot. Like, I don't get me wrong, y'all whack somebody, they whack somebody, because even then you got the Tony B. Well, actually, that's what I meant, Tony B. versus the field thing. So that's kind of the start of like the New York, New Jersey beef. But it's like now we're blowing up buildings that you know how elaborate that is. Nobody could be there. Get all of the workers out of there. Get all in. Nobody's coming in today. Get out of there. We're blowing the joint up. You know what I mean? It's like that's a real elaborate plan when you think about it. Just to say we own you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's mandatory though. Like we have to let y'all in the business that we in. I gotta let you know that we're not playing, bro. Like you can think all that bullshit you want to about us being a glorified crew, but I'm finna do this. Like this is gonna happen. You're not finna play with me. Like you ain't finna do the no-show job thing that you're trying to do. Like you ain't finna talk to me like you talk to me when we having these conversations when we do. Like this has to this. It is elaborate mode, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. This thing is we building closer and closer, boy. I tell you that much. Yeah, it's crazy.
That,
like
yeah,
that
this is the first episode that gave you that feeling again. Like I
Yeah,
can say
like,
the whole first part of any episode here, it's like, okay, yes, Sopranos, I enjoy this, and yeah, it's cool. I like the characters, but this was the episode. It's like, oh, okay, shit getting there. Like it ain't feel like shit was real in a minute.
Oh yeah, it's like like
To
oh,
your
it's
point
like,
with this
it's up.
happening, it's like, oh, okay, shit, it's up now. It's real.
Yeah. Even then, because I mean, it didn't feel real with Vito or Fat Dom though.
No, we don't care about.
I think Vito's storyline was just a
deterrent. It felt like a deterrent. It wasn't bad. Like you know what's gonna happen there. Like there's only two scenarios that can happen. Either, like Vito's gonna disappear forever, or they're gonna kill him like they did. With this right here, you see this building blowing up. It's just like the whole scenario that you explained. It's elaborate. Like, damn, how they gonna respond to this, nigga? What's next? Like now it's up. So,
yeah, it's no turning back on that.
They brought the feeling back.
Yeah, I like it. They brought the feeling back. The essence.
The essence is out there. The essence is in the room.
Yeah. Okay. We about to bring the essence back.
It's like New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings.
Let's go.
I'm trying to restore the feeling.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh man.
That's funny.
But yeah, even in that phone call when he said he called him the Shah. So it was like funny to call back later of the Shah of Iran or whatever. Like, so, just that little silly joke. Like that subtle, like this, when he called Tony or whatever. But Tony finalizes the deal to sell to
Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice. I call her Juliana, I guess. I've been playing around with the Kaisha thing. But
Kaisha, yeah.
just she's still Kaisha just because it's a Black Soprano podcast.
Yeah, about to say, why not?
So she's Kaisha until it's revealed. So pretty much, yeah. And then Tony tries to double back on her, and she's not interested. And bruh, I just wanted to add, what y'all think about the scene? And have y'all ever tried to double back and got nope, like got dissed out, like trying to like, you know what?
Yeah, it happens to the best of us for sure.
You fumble, you try. I gotta try.
You try to kind of.
Yeah, I need right that there. Back. They be looking good. You see them out like hit it with the Braxton.
Bro, yeah, exactly.
You gonna do me like that?
Like, dang, I thought I was fly still, but all right.
I got two confessions from right here. I just now realized why you was calling her Kaisha. Because that's what Chris called an episode. Okay. You've been doing it for 3 episodes. And 2 is kind of off subject, but it's a realization I had this week as well. Y'all remember when, totally random, but it made me think of it when I just realized this, what you saying there, Mo. Y'all remember when Hove said you got your Scooby-Doos on?
Yeah.
I just not knew what he meant. Like, do y'all know what Scooby-Doos are?
Yeah. Shoes?
No. It's like some knockoffs. So they like some underwear, like boy shorts?
So Scooby-Doos mean you know how dress shoes are slick at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember when Scooby-Doo used to run off, he would do the little thing where he would like do his feet and he would like slip.
Super fast.
I just now realized that this weekend that he meant you had your dress shoes on when he said you got your Scooby-Doos on. Because they slick at the bottom.
I knew he meant that, but I didn't know the reasoning. I just knew it because I knew it, but I didn't know the reasoning that you just explained.
But y'all watch Scooby-Doo, right? Y'all know what?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. That's a classic cartoon trope.
Yeah, I just now realized that.
That's still kind of a reach.
Was you watching Scooby-Doo?
I was listening to them. Somebody was talking about it.
I was about to say, my nigga at home.
They were playing that song. Scooby-Doo was my favorite cartoon, so I had that on me. I already knew that. But then as they was explaining it, when he told somebody else, he said you had your Scooby-Doos on, and he was referring to him having the dress shoes on. I was like, oh shit, that's what he meant.
That makes sense, man. That's why another reason why I hope to go, man. How many years later? 20-some years later.
What?
Yeah, and that line's still a reach though. But I feel you though. I feel
Shout out to Mo for being Mo.
If Drake had said that, we would have ended the
that's
podcast.
that. I'd be like, because he got lines of the reaches too. It's like, but we'll roll with it. But it's still a reach.
I like it.
Fair. So yeah, pretty much he tried to double back and she's like, no, she's not into it. And obviously we find out why, because she's into somebody else. And I mean, again, like it's a perfect opportunity. He let Carmela get that trip off. Now it's like he's feeling a little better about it. He ain't gonna turn her down. You know, he's ready for it, but now it's like, nah, you know. And then we get to the next scene, Christopher and Kelly, they talk about decorating the room and he doesn't want to yet because of his nerves. And he you know, he's just a little superstitious, a little nervous about everything. And it's quite the Easter egg here. Y'all think?
I think it's more so he don't want it to be real that he really about to have a baby with her.
Well, yeah, the later scene reveals that. But do y'all think about the scene and then the later scene? Not in this episode, but the later scene.
With the
Tony's scene? Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I never put the two together. But yeah, I guess retroactively you could put good time together if you want to.
You don't?
Yeah, but from a perspective that we have of knowing what's going to happen, yeah, of course. But if you ask me in real time, would I have thought that he thought something was going to happen? I don't think he really thought that. I think he was more so feeling. He was more so feeling homegirl, and like Rich said, it's getting real for us, and we're gonna put the room together, and I'm out here being a piece of shit. That's how I looked at it. I ain't never really thought he thought that something bad would happen for real.
It's just the regularness of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think I like. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Like just regular new father nerves, but it's still there's still this subtle thing of like, you know, he's like, I don't know.
But it's consistent though. I could be wrong. It's more consistent with what you saying with him do the messaging throughout the whole series with that quote you just said, the crow coming up when he got made, him consistently referring to you know, how he feels about Tony. The series has been more consistent in explaining him and what you just said than what I said, but I still think he's just a bigger piece of shit. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we get to another scene. Carmela visits Adriana's mom. I don't got nothing for it. Other than how it ties in later with Tony's statement or whatnot.
Yeah, we can save to the next scene.
Yeah, okay. Well, Carmela and Tony are having a morning conversation. Carmela, you know, just talking about, you know, Adriana's mom. I had her name listed here. I'm trying to remember. I want to keep saying Adriana's mom.
Liliana? It's not Lily or Liz.
Liz LaServa. Okay.
Yeah, Liz.
So they're talking about Liz LaServa, and you know, Tony, you know, he's definitely obviously playing it up, playing cool, but it's like, bro, you gotta imagine, like, you normally get somebody whacked and it's over with. Like, and she is constantly bringing up when you're over something, somebody keeps going back to it. Like, bro, that's why it's like, yo, you need something to do bad, bro. But what do y'all think about this thing?
This is. You want to go?
I was just gonna say this is just the beginning of. All right, I can't believe she's still talking about this. Like, it's concerning, but not overly concerning at this point. Tony genuinely can't believe this. Like, go get yourself a hobby, go find something to do, go find a friend, join a book club, wine club, something. Because why are you worried? You and her weren't even cool. You and Liz weren't even cool like that. I understand that mother instinct and intuition to want to just be there for someone going through something, but that's just a pure her even dropping off that little small scene of her having the flowers going to the hospital. And I hope this don't sound too harsh, but that's just a clear indicator. Carmela has nothing to do.
Yeah,
because here you are. It reminds me of when Livia was going through the obituaries just to see who died.
Yeah,
because you don't have nothing else to do. Like, I feel like she just, like, some people just don't, all right, man, sad to hear, but I ain't about to go up to the hospital, buy flowers and all that. So Tony's like, I can't believe this is going on. You already told me about Pepe Le Pew in your dreams, telling me about Adriana being alive. Like, this sounds crazy to me. And to your point, Mo, this is a real problem. I know what happened to her. So the more you start digging around, and we get a later scene, which really makes Tony be like, all right, man, enough is enough. But shit, it's 9 a.m, man. I ain't trying to hear about this shit.
Shout out to our homegirl that's the teacher that talked about how we break this down. Because I had I had a revelation when watching this again. Who knows how many times I've seen this, but they set this up brilliantly as far as the writing, in the sense of I can't really tell if she's doing this on purpose to get what she wants, or if she's genuinely concerned. Because they gave us episodes with her and Ro out there, and like she had these revelations and things, and of course I know she cares, but you and I, like when I said that y'all shook your head, because we know how women are. They can look at a situation like, okay, I see what I have to do. I got to go all the way around the world to get my spec house. Like we could have made it really simple. You could have did it when I asked you, but now I'm gonna torture you into giving you what I want.
Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant writing of the character, because we know that Carmela's not dumb. And we seen her do
dirty though. Like,
and we seen her do this real quick, Mo. We seen her do this with the teacher. Like I was of the belief with the teacher, like what he called her out on, she 100% did that.
So
and she just did this with Tony. I think she just did this with Tony. Because all my original watching this, I'm like, she really cared. Like why does she
that
bored?
Later scene, that later scene with the business cards though? Like that's where I started thinking like you.
Exactly.
How quickly it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know.
And then, like you said, Mo, I'm looking at it for who knows how many times, and then what makes this show so great. I'm like, oh, she's doing this shit on purpose. Like she know. I'm of the belief now watching this that she fully knows that Tony had something done to Adriana. And if I keep asking about it, he's going to have to give me something to do. I know my husband. I know you, Tony. Like she said in all the previous episodes of Snowcaps, I'm Whitecaps, excuse me. Like she said in those episodes. So now she's looking at it like, okay, I know what I have to do to get what I want. I want the spec house.
Damn, I never thought of it like that. But
yeah, the way,
it's like it's like that episode of Entourage we did, Spike, when Drama and Turtle was talking about something they ain't paying for it. And the girl's like, oh, why you bummed out? Late on our rent again. Oh, don't worry about it. I got your rent. Like, they knew exactly what they was doing by saying that, knowing that Drama gonna pull out that money. And it's like, I think of Carmela saying, my spec house has done this. She keeps bringing it up. If she didn't bring up the spec house in that situation, maybe it's a little different. But she keeps mentioning it, and it's like, all right, then this is what I really want. That's incredible. I never thought of it like that, but you're absolutely right. Because like I just mentioned, she does not care about Liz.
No,
so never. And that was to my point. I was glad you were saying that. That's why I was laughing as you were going through what you said, because that's to my point. She never gave a fuck about Carmela's mom. I mean, excuse me, Aid's mom.
Or Aid, for real. Aid was cool, but not enough to be like losing sleep about what happened.
Investigate your disappearance. Like,
Chris don't even care enough to be investigating.
Cole
why
losing
am I
sleep
taking on this
this
brigade? It ain't me.
Carmela said it ain't me. Like, no, so it is that excellent, Spike, excellent, because
that's cold.
I'm glad you got that, because there's a point in there where I would have forgot that thought, because that thought hit my head too. I say it was a small thought. I was like, what if the possibility that Carmela already knows what it is? Like, she knows that she's gone. Like, you're not going to see her anymore. Because she brings it up a few times and leaves it be, but then this season, after they make the agreement at the end of season 5, and she like, Tony, I need that spec house. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, and after that, and then leaving, and it's like leaving to Paris and coming back. It's almost like mentally, okay, I'm looking at these buildings. I'm looking at their people leaving stuff behind. I'm coming back and I'm going to have my house built. And this is what I'm leaning on. Because every time I do this, I notice you react a certain way. And so, if that's the thing, man, listen.
And one more layer to it. Tony's response. He knew exactly what to do to get her to stop fucking and thinking about this. And she knows that he's going to know exactly what to do to get her to stop thinking about it. The first thing he does once he figure out that this is what, like, let me holler Seal about the spec house.
Listen, their relationship is so complicated, bro. Because they talk around like I said,
like chess.
Dog. That's what, like the way they had that sit down at the end of season 5, like, understanding, like, I don't bring your, like, she didn't say, and the dream said, no, you don't bring your whores, but in that sit down, she was like, hey, none of that needs to, whatever happens, you do what you need to do, don't let none of it come to the house again. Like, our kids stay here and all that. And then he kind of agreed, obviously, the 650,000, so they knew what that meant. Like, okay, we're gonna do, like, not really this joint parenting. It's almost like this joint marriage thing, kind of. Like, we're gonna meet each other's needs when we need to, but we also understand each other's flaws. And so in
Mhm.
some way, maybe she's looking like you're not holding up your end of the bargain, kind of like,
Yep.
you know.
And now I got to play hardball.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Carmela, now this might be the most brilliant move she's ever did, bro. Because the way we'll get to when we get to the later scene, I think it'll confirm or deny this theory. A couple of things though I didn't get to mention within that though. So Carmela, you know, we obviously know she needs purpose, but you know, Tony says to her, he says, "You've raised two gorgeous kids, you've created us a wonderful house, and you have a husband that loves you. And doesn't that count for something?" I thought this was sweet. I get it. Like, I mean, it doesn't negate what her desire is, but I thought it was sweet in the sense that I get it. You're at home all the time. I'm always out. I'm you know, I'm getting my envelopes. You don't have anything to do. You got empty nest syndrome going on. I don't want you to feel like everything you did is in vain. You know what I mean? Because you ain't got that spec house built just yet. You've done some things that matter to me, and I just want to acknowledge it. Now, again, that ain't enough for her, obviously, because she's looking at, you know, Angie and saying, you know, I need to get my own bag because Angie, you know what I mean? But I thought it was still a sweet statement because I felt like he felt that way. You know what I mean? So that's.
I feel like Tony was like, "Oh man,
he was full of shit. He was full of shit, and he was trying to get her off of it.
He's still trying to get her, like, hold off, but I do feel like there was a genuine.
Two things. If it's true, yeah, this is true, but I don't really give it. I'm just telling you this so you can get off my back.
There's a scene later. There's a scene later, and I'll speak more to it because I know we're going on this scene.
Okay.
But there's a scene later that speaks to that being like he was full of shit.
Okay.
Like he still ain't respecting Carmela like he should respect her.
Okay.
And when we get
bring
to
that back up, please, because
it's like
okay.
It's like that Michael Shea joke when he said, like, that's like your wife saying, you know, honey, do you love me? Hey, I love everybody. Like, it's the same type of it's the same shit. Tony just saying that shit. Like, I love you for real, but whatever.
That's funny. All lives matter.
Damn, it's funny.
If we go to the next thing, Bobby, Tony, Chris, and AJ watching the game and bacon turkey. This is our last Christmas Eve. It's kind of sad.
This is Thanksgiving.
Okay, Thanksgiving. Right. Because then they kind of cover both in this episode, don't they?
Yeah, because
the time frame was crazy.
Mm-hmm. They do a good job of at least letting us know where we are because and it's very subtle because the announcers on the TV says this isn't exactly a Thanksgiving Day classic, so it lets you know, and plus with the birds, so yeah, it's definitely Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's weird, and it's weird they never did that. Like, I don't think they've done it before where they cover two holidays, and like that's like 30 days, bro. You know what I mean? From Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Like, the montage is later, like it really like how long was going by? But like you said, it's 30 days from the start to the end of this episode.
Or 25 days, I guess, or whatever. But
yes,
roughly, yeah. So, but they asked Chris about what he got going on with the latest Goomar, and Chris says she's black. Now, that really actually, I will say
this. Shine.
That always felt. That line feels so forced to me every time I see it coming from Bobby. It just feels so forced. Like, now, only thing that I could give Bell on, if it fit, is maybe he has changed. I mean, again, I'm not saying, oh, Bobby is cool with black people all of a sudden, but the only thing that I'll give,
just get robbed.
That's what I was about to get at. That's what made me say, okay, maybe you feel a little differently because he ain't never really had the same kind of deep-rooted issue as Tony had, which Tony's might even be like he might be full of it low key, you know. But that line always felt like, Bobby. I don't know. It's never felt.
Little niggas in Newark got Bobby looking like Slick Rick. That nigga mad.
Here we go.
I'm surprised he didn't say it deeper.
I was gonna say, Shine. I thought Shine was being nice, to be honest with you.
Well, just coming from Bobby, it just didn't feel. I don't know. That doesn't feel like that type of word for like a slur. Didn't feel like Bobby would say that. Like, he just felt like he would say black. You're blaming a black or something, like a Shine to me.
A couple weeks ago, he would have said that. See, like Bobby playing that middle ground. I agree with your sentiment. Like, A couple of weeks ago, it would have been blacks.
Yeah.
Now these shines rob me when I'm in Harlem or wherever I'm at. I ain't going all the way. I ain't going all the way and saying the N word of being like Tony. I ain't doing
Cocksucking
that.
jigaboo.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. But what I am gonna do is call him a shine. So I think it's spot on.
All right,
I'm gonna add a little spice on it.
Yeah, it definitely like I'm trying to get some points with Tony.
Yeah.
let me dog.
I know y'all ain't gonna be offended. I've heard worse.
Let me dog these black people out in front of Tony. We can get back close again.
Yeah. And again, on top of that, I just got shot in the eye by you little shines. So
yeah, man, little niggas.
Man, what up, my shine?
I'm gonna start saying that.
Yeah, I'm starting to say, what up, my shine?
What up, Shine?
Hey, this Shine had the nerve to tell me. Y'all that listen, don't go around saying Shine. Like, don't do it. Please don't do it. But yeah, we've laughed about that on some old seasons of just like different slurs that are hilarious. But
Shine is up there.
Yeah, Shine is.
This whole scene seemed for us too, though. To your point, like this whole, like, why the fuck do y'all even care? Why does Tony care about Chris's Goomar?
Well, we are like in at the end, so I feel like the excitement is ramping down. Remember a few episodes ago, they were excited about robbing the Vipers, and that was like the highlight for it. And they kept making the same joke. Like, it's like, okay, we ain't got nothing going on. So it's like, what you got going on? It's kind of like, let's get into the Goomars. Because I mean, that's what men going to do. They get together. They might talk about sports, hustling or women, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, well, what you got going on? Which is even interesting from Bobby because Bobby don't even get down like that. You know what I mean? So it
is a random conversation. Hey, who you fucking at?
And you sent AJ out of the room to have the conversation. Like, bro.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. That is kind of weird, sending AJ out and then having the conversation.
Yeah, usually you would do that on business. This is just more so, yeah, man. Who you hitting? Like, what? Huh? Don't worry about it.
Like, yeah, nigga, what?
What kind
of question is it, nigga? Right. As a matter of fact, nigga, since you asked.
Right. I always felt like I always was interested to see. I always felt like it would have been interesting to see Chris with a black Goomar, though. That is always, every time I watch it, I feel like it'd have been interesting, some kind of interesting thing. Like, I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Could you see a black girl putting up with Chris?
I mean, I feel like there's a possibility there.
I don't.
I do. I feel like if like when Chris, like how Chris is in his bag when he's like kind of sober and he's on top of things and stuff, I can see him kind of like, yeah, I can.
He ain't got enough. I don't think he got enough game to pull a black girl.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think that at all. Like, yeah, I think early Chris. This Chris, I think there's a better chance, but I don't know. Well, do you think any of the Soprano dudes could? I mean, I guess Rio could have.
Rio could have. Hesh, he Jewish though, and he got that bag. I can see. If you ask me that about Hesh, yes, I can see him pulling a black girl. Furio could have pulled a black girl.
Furio?
Yeah, Furio
I can see that because I can see him like, okay, he got the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
the little ponytail and shit.
Come through ponytail. Like
Furio could have got that off.
Furio, yeah, okay, Furio. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And really maybe, good. And you know what? One more, maybe Ralph.
Oh, Ralph could get it off.
Maybe Ralph.
Ralph could get it off.
Definitely probably get it off too.
Yeah, Ralph could have got that. He would have been, come on, baby. I like.
Ralph had game, man.
Yeah, Ralph got. He would have got it off.
Always say, Ralph could have got it off.
Yeah, I say Ralph too. That's probably it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the extent of it.
Pussy bump.
Well, Vito did. Well, no, she was Dominican. Oh, that's a good one. Big Puss might have been, he might have been able to do it.
I think he could have. I think that he might be 50-50, but he's closer than the rest of them.
That's a good one. He's closer than the rest. You're right.
Yeah. And one more. He's not in the crew, but he's a character. I say Jackie Jr. I know it's like way out there, but I can see him totally like Fresh Prince in New Jersey. He could,
100%.
He could at a college party. It's on.
It wouldn't have been a traditional black girl though. It would have been like the black girl that hung with the white girls.
Yeah,
he could have got her. Yeah, he ain't getting like. He ain't getting the same black girl that Furio or Big Pussy getting.
No. But he, yeah.
He could get one though.
He could. Okay, all right, y'all. That's y'all. Let y'all.
That's what y'all come here for.
Yeah, that's what
I promise you. I promise you, this is the only Sopranos show ever that reviews the Sopranos that has had that conversation.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Jordan, Ashley, y'all hit us back if y'all got any of the other characters. Y'all are black women, so hit us back if y'all feel like there's any other soprano characters that actually could pull a black woman, and or in other words, court them. If I use proper terminology. So, all right, that was fun.
It was.
But yeah,
I might swerve and bend that corner. Whoa,
whoa, got a whoa.
I'm sorry, man. That shit stuck. If I might do that 2 more times for this recording.
Hey, that's fine.
I've been holding that shit in for like the past hour.
Hey,
hey, Chris gonna pull up bumping that.
Chris
Walter was
straight up.
Chris was
yeah, because you know he got the 50 Cent movie.
He got the Get Rich or Die Try. He could probably got that joint in there too.
Them niggas wild.
Yeah, they are. Anything else y'all want to add to this scene? I mean, they throw Paulie in there talking about like, yeah, she would feel it too, and all that. But yeah, just go. I guess just Goomar talk. But we go to the construction site. Paulie pulls up, and Blanca has some. What, she got an envelope for him? Is that?
Yeah, she got to check his paycheck.
Got his paycheck. You know, he getting Paulie getting the pennies, whatever he getting, he getting. And then and pretty much AJ falls in love with Blanca.
That nigga AJ got love at first sight. He lost in the sauce. Every time I see her now, I just think of Spike calling her an Uber driver, Entourage, and I get weak.
Oh, yeah, right. The connection.
Man, Turtle about to crash out over an Uber driver. It's crazy. I still laugh about that from time to time. There's a lot of Spike shit that I laugh about just random, and that was one of them. So every time I see Blanca, I think of that.
That is funny.
You know, you say that because you know how like serious I be. You know, I'm not like
that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
It's not. It would not be funny if it was a joke. This nigga was dead ass serious. Like, nigga, what?
Fall in love with the Uber driver.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Uber drivers.
This is good character. Like, this was a good placement as far as casting. I could see AJ, like when she walk out of there, like how she looking in that skirt, the accent and everything. I could see somebody like AJ be like, "Oh my God, this is the love of my life." So that was a good scene right there, as far as them slowing it down and everything. I thought that was dope.
And she is that fine.
Like, she that fine.
She is fine. She's that fine. Like, and there's
crazy
a later scene that confirms.
Yeah, crazy track record with Turtle and AJ being. Like,
I know.
That's crazy.
That's wild when you think about it.
That's crazy.
And Turtle's dating AJ's sister. Look, we're creating a universe. Man. Here's the universe here.
I'm telling you, man, it's there.
Hey,
it's there.
Normally, Rick should have it like laid out perfectly as far as connecting the universe like that.
I started to build it a little bit in the Entourage. You know, we might get to it another time. But
yeah, that's okay. All right. So yeah, then we get to the next scene, and we see two people are, having their way with one another, and we get the big reveal that Kaisha is Juliana and Chris, and they were having relations. Do y'all remember this reveal, like when it happened? Like, because this is the first reveal of them two together, right?
Yeah, I didn't care though.
Okay, fair.
You know what I mean? I didn't care enough to.
Hey,
it'd be different if it was like Ileana or something like that, but or Irina.
Irina. Yeah, okay, that would have been like
somebody with a little bit more. But Tony ain't even
smash it,
there. Yeah. Nah, so that's why I was like, whatever.
In his head, he did.
Yeah, man.
Here's the interesting thing about this scene. Like, I agree with Rich. I did not. Who cares, right? But we have the privilege of seeing this show several times, and we know the slow build that it's doing. The reason they throw that scene in there with him asking about his Goomar is similar to the scene that we talked about when them niggas were sitting there lying to each other drinking the wine. Mm-hmm. And Tony looking at him like, you just gonna lie to me like this? Like we talked about the revelation that we had in that conversation. Mm-hmm. This builds on that, and this is brilliant writing by the Sopranos. This builds on that because Tony could have just told him in the movie thing, like, I'm older. You remember the real estate chick? Oh yeah, I knocked her down. He could have told him that. Mm-hmm. But instead, they take a couple of episodes, come back to this, and how these people, and then we know what happens later, how they just lying to each other's faces for no reason. Mm-hmm. And he wonders why Tony look at him like that. Like, you had every opportunity to be truthful with me about this. And then I think, and then we'll talk about it in the later scenes, him even saying like, well, what'd you lie for? Mm-hmm. Like, it kind of shows us the relationship of Chris and Tony and why we get what we get.
Yeah, the respect level is really dropping in this because we get a later scene with Chris. I feel like a lot of way Chris reacting because he's like, well, y'all niggas not upholding stuff, so y'all want me to
y'all
like,
ain't even about that life.
Yeah, and I think there's people trying to pick and choose where that applies, kind of thing. Yo, Chris might be in love because the way he get into it with her was. I was like, yo,
nigga told her to save her dress like Monica Lewinsky. Hey, get the fuck out of here,
bro. He was walking the sheets, bro. Oh my goodness gracious, bro.
The nigga was out here dry humping, man. You know how horny you gotta be to be out here on that shit.
As an adult.
Yeah, as a full adult with privacy, like you in the bed, like take a
dry humping. Out, that's what they were doing.
I'm talking shit.
I'm like, bro.
The fact that they did not have their clothes off is the point I'm making. Like, come on, man, y'all that horny?
That is crazy. All right,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like you already in the bed. Usually, if you that horny, it's one of them kitchen
in that position
type of moments.
That position doesn't lean till we gonna keep our clothes on. Like that. That's
like, the worst position.
That's the worst. Like your belt's still there, the zipper, like nothing is right. Like I don't know. You're right. That's good call outs, Rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Grow up, niggas.
All right, so real quick, listeners, if y'all don't like,
bust a proper nut, man.
I mean, yeah, right. don't cheat yourself. You know what I mean?
Be an adult.
Be an adult for once. Listeners, if y'all, especially particularly women, if y'all don't like this part where we kind of get into the ranking, kind of a little bit of the women,
they like it.
Okay, but y'all can just skip about 30 seconds a few times. So. We always joke about Carmela kind of probably being similar as far as like kind of mid in that department, and then we say Gloria and Valentina. We like they get to it. Like we definitely feel like they know they. How do y'all feel about Juliana?
WAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. 100%, nigga. You can like.
Hey, Juliana got Chris nervous.
She got that. I feel it's that sneaky. Like,
listen to me.
You had no idea.
You ain't even know that, and those be the best. You be like, oh my god, you.
I'll be back tomorrow. Like, let me.
That's Juliana. One of them when you ask her, like, do you know what you got? Do you?
Yeah, that's what you be like. You know how good you are.
Yeah,
you out here playing, like you out here playing, like acting like you don't know that you got it. That's she one of them chicks you had that type of conversation, like, I see what you doing.
Or she really don't know, and and now you be like, oh, okay, I'm
then you don't want nobody else to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it on cool. Like, all right, yeah, that was great. That was great. You chilling, but oh man, this is gold. I'm coming back tomorrow, but I can't let nobody else know. Yeah, so yeah. So that's what I felt. I was on the same page. I was like, yeah, she definitely looked like she know a few things. All right, cool.
Wow.
Chris over here talking about I don't want a family with her. Like, hey,
bro.
He
bro.
said I'm done.
Do you know what you got to have? Like, spoiler, like they relapsed and started just smoking heroin. Like she had that snap back.
Yeah.
Like we wilding out smoking heroin, just going to random movies now. Nigga,
she got personality too, though. Like that personality all tied into it. Like, if you got that sneak, you got that sneak for real, and you got the personality to roll with it. It's like, yo, she really chill for real. It's like, okay, I'm in love for real. Like this it. This it.
She one of them ones, like you said. Well, we all had them. You looked up, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what is going? But
bro,
the reason is there. But you said, what am I doing,
bro? I have been out of contact for 4 days. Like nobody has been able to reach.
Exactly. We've been in here watching The Wire reruns for 3 days, nigga.
Bro. We've been ordering in. We like for 4 days. People like I ain't picking up phone calls, texting back, like.
And what makes it worse is you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck that you off the grid.
No,
you don't care.
No,
nigga, I'll get to y'all when I get to y'all. Nigga, y'all don't understand what's going on over here right now.
You ain't got proper clothes to change in.
You don't know, baby D.
And none of that shit matter, nigga.
Yeah, nah,
only thing that matters is that walk.
For real. I ain't trying none of that shit. I don't give a fuck. If you mad, Tony, be mad. Whatever you gotta do it. Cause I'm telling you.
Hey, this ain't going nowhere, buddy.
Yeah, this ain't going. This is it.
Like seriously, bro.
That was a good question, bro.
Man, yeah, because that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, absolutely, Because every time I've watched it, I never had to like that kind of attraction to it. But when I watched it this time, I looked through a different lens, and it made me really think. I said, you know what? So that's why I asked the question. But yeah, so Chris says he doesn't want a family with Kelly, that she doesn't know who he is and how he rushed into it. And again, this is another example of Chris shortcutting things to try to be like Tony. Like, this is him doing it again. Remember, he pulled up, showing off his ring and everything. He's doing these things, but like, you're not a serious person. That is Tony's issue. Yeah, that's Tony's issue. You're not a serious person. And you claim that you've got it together. You went in and you're like right back. Like, it's crazy. Like, Tony, like, we, as much as we want Tony to give Chris grace, like, he really don't deserve it, because like, man, this episode.
You're right.
Yeah, anyway, we'll get more into it. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. I'm like, golly, bro, you done bought a house with her again. This beautiful, beautiful, innocent woman, just like crazy, man. But he bugging. Like, this is what you want. You want a Kelly. She don't have to know who you are. She gonna figure it out at some point. But by then, you already locked in.
That nigga want to get high.
Oh, that element of not
knowing. Say, yeah, I'm finna say.
That's a perfect.
Some of him wants a Kelly.
Oh, he want to be on
the other
junk.
one wants to her.
Kelly is ideal. Kelly looks good for the aesthetic of what he wants to be.
Yeah,
They say dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Like, that's Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly is him trying to be Tony.
That's the wife he
Kelly
needs.
is him. Yep.
The needs.
Kelly him trying to be Tony. That's him being Chris. Liliana him being Chris.
Yeah,
it's really me right here.
Well, like Adriana, like, you know what I mean? Like, she was okay. I'm doing junk. It's like, because it's like, bruh, it's like, dang, I gotta weigh it out. It's like, bruh, I'm really still trying to hit this needle, but I gotta like change diapers. I don't think I'm ready to do all that. I still got junk. I still want to do junk. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy. It's like, bro, that's what it is. Like, Chris, like, anyway, but yeah, it's such a deeper, darker thing with him. So we get to the sit down. That's not a sit down.
Meeting of the minds.
A meeting of the minds. Carmine, that could have been the name of our segment outside of back of the bean. Meeting of the minds. That would have been all right. Carmine at the gate. What?
I'm sorry. We got to talk about this theory. I'm sure you're gonna bring it up. The Carmine theory with this scene. But go ahead, Mom.
I'm gonna lay out the scene, then you can bring up the theory, because you way more well versed and speak better. Carmine at the gate, full of it. He says, Phil asked me to arrange this, and Phil corrected him and says, you asked me to attend, and I agreed. Like, he just.
Hey, I fuck with Phil, man.
I felt that, because you know how somebody be
I
like,
don't let no bullshit slide. Yeah, like,
yeah, bro. Like, when people be on the phone and you like, hey, tell such and such. Tell them, I say, hey, and then they tell them something different.
No, just tell them I say, hey, bro.
Like, that's not what I
said.
They add
an additional question to it or something.
Yeah, like, or joke on it. Like, no.
I ain't want to know all that.
I'll let Rich get in kind of to the theory before we kind of react a little bit more to this scene. But obviously, this is the scene Spike was making a joke in his synopsis at the top of the episode.
Yeah, what happened there? Briefly, we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but there's a Reddit post, and the three of us have talked about this in a group chat, but never on air. Without getting too deep in the weeds, there's a Reddit post that's pretty much questioning, was Little Carmine a genius, or is he just someone who got lucky? And they just recount a lot of the moves. A lot of people say that Little Carmine kind of presented himself as like the George W. Bush of La Cosa Nostra. Like, just kind of, who is this guy? This guy's an idiot, but low key, he might be smarter than what he lets on. He might just have different moves. In this meeting, you can't tell me, Mo, that he didn't know what he was doing by all of the subtle mishaps. Once again, Phil asked me to have this meeting. No, I didn't. You asked me, you invited me, and I agreed. Having the actual conclusion done, right? Having everything settled, the truth is about to happen, and then you mention something that you know is a point of contention with Phil, which is his brother Billy. It reminds me a lot of times, remember when Carmine got mad at Johnny Sack for speaking highly of Tony? And Johnny, there's a certain moments where I'm like, hold on, is Little Carmine like really trying to keep this beef going for some reason. He does make sense. It's not good for our bottom line. But at the same time, they mentioned the fact that he's out of the game, like as far as he got out in the war, as far as like the power struggle. He just might be smarter than what people let on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's intentional? Do you think Lil Carmine's just a goof that accidentally mentioned Billy? Or do you think he knew what he was doing that entire time?
It kind of comes down to what does he hope to gain? Like, is it really just F? It's still F Johnny Sack? You know what I mean? Like, if
he like the drama.
Like, well, what I'm saying is like, in order like for this, like we have to see what's his bottom line. So is it just okay? I'm gonna keep getting at Phil and having them two beef because not only did Johnny Sack win the war, now Phil is behind him, and I still should have been the one over there originally. So now I'm creating disruption. That's a possibility. I like the theory. I got to figure out how does he gain this all? Like, because I mean, he is in 6B finale.
So what do you? Yeah, no, he survived. That's the game.
Sure,
he survived, and then he's rich. I just don't know if this was. I guess the simple question is Carmine just an idiot that doesn't know that does he have diarrhea of the mouth when he's mentioning things like that, or do you think this is deliberate on his end? When he mentions
it's a good
things
theory.
Such as what do you?
It's a really good theory.
On purpose, or he just an idiot?
I would have never thought that until you brought it up or that Reddit post was mentioned. And now when you say that and you look at it and you say, well, what does he have to gain, Mo? If Tony takes Phil out, which I don't know if he can, but if he does take Phil out, then I'm pseudo like head of the family now, right? Like that was the whole beef that we had. You mentioned Johnny Sack. That was the whole beef. This dude is a successor to Johnny Sack. If I get Johnny Sack's successor taken out and I still have the people behind me that were backing me previously, they just knew Johnny was too powerful for me to fuck with. Now I got a path to being the guy. So that's what I have to gain from it. And all I'm doing is being manipulative of two people who don't like each other anyway. I'm just gonna play both sides. I'm gonna put Tony like this way. I don't have to call a hit. I don't have to get a Tony B or do something shady in the secrets and get a boss whacked. I can let these two go with each other, and then, like Littlefinger said, chaos is the best ladder. Shout out Game of Thrones.
That's good.
But I can see that.
And you think about it, Phil. Remember how Little Carmine, he cared about Lorraine. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
and
Phil,
that was his girl.
Yeah, that was his girl. And Phil whacked her. Obviously, she was a little bloodthirsty herself. And so, that could still be sitting with him too, where it's like, I know it's business. We all had a part to play, but you were you were a part of the Johnny Sack war. Like when
you disrespected me,
you were on Johnny's side. That was my girl, yeah. And you was whacking people that were my people. You gotta remember, he whacked, well, not Rusty, but the other guy that Tony B was his like mentor, Angelo. Angelo, and so it's like there's which Angelo and Rusty, they were all really close. They were champion Little Carmine. So you're right. In some sense, it could be like there's that theory could work, or it could just be one of the people that he's just a dumb heir to the throne. He could be that too, where it's like, because he always says the wrong thing. I think Luxury Lounge or one of the previous episodes, he was like, man, I was reading this book about such and such that said something like, and he didn't have no name for nothing. And he just goes into the quote and he paraphrased the quote. I'm like, you don't know anything, bro.
That might be all big. That all might be one big part of the act. I'm about to walk in here on my Kaiser Soze shit and leave everybody unassuming, and then I'm gonna straighten up my foot. I'm gonna walk out clean, man, the whole time.
That's crazy too. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say that's crazy too, because it's really simple things that this show does to put that doubt in your mind of which way you should lean. And for Lil Carmine, what it is we've heard it before. Like, you down chilling in Miami, you not like us. Shout out Kendrick. Like you ain't here. Like, so it's going to sound quirky and like we gonna look at you strange because you ain't been out here like us. Like you way down in Miami doing this shit. So that opens it up for the debate of like, is he just being a dumbass or is he smarter than them?
Yeah.
What you laughing at?
Hey, nah, man, because I was scrolling, bro. I was scrolling. Sometimes the internet just fried. I just saw this random post. all the post said was, all the post said was, keep thinking she ain't got fucked in 3 months if you want to. I don't know why that shit's so funny to me.
Yeah, that's what Tony thought, boy.
I first say that's Tony's. That's Tony.
Tony
Me.
thought Juliana was like that, boy. Like she was just waiting for you to come back. Dang, Tony missed out. Based on what we were talking about, Tony really missed out, bro.
Hey, somebody, I said that reminded me. There was a post that said, "How come every time you meet a chick, she ain't had no sex in forever?"
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that shit, I don't know why that shit's so fried to me right now, but that's a random ass post.
Nah, it's silly.
They had nothing to do with that, man. My bad.
Just real time right there.
Yeah, just real time, man.
But Blanca and AJ are at the bar, and
speaking not getting none,
bruh. She is so. You think from the moment she does the paperwork at the construction site, she already was trying to hitch to AJ because she knew he was the boss's son? Yeah, I think it was already in effect.
100%.
That's a great question because I wanted to ask y'all what was the play.
I know who he is.
Yeah, I think she's trying to.
That is 1,000,000% the play.
But you don't think
like she up on game?
But Blanca is a different level of. I feel like she can get whoever she wanted to.
Yeah, but she probably already had who she wanted, which was her baby daddy. Like she wanted him, but that didn't work out. You know what I mean? And now I feel like she's trying to, kind of set her and her son up.
Yeah, I just feel like there's bigger fish to set her and her son up that would have went.
Is it though? AJ Soprano? Like she think she might like she seems like that she's street smart enough to know, like, I read the papers, like I see what's going on the construction side. I know who the Sopranos are. Mm-hmm. That's what I always took it as. Like she know what the play was and know how big of a fish AJ could be if she could strap in with.
Mm-hmm. And it could be, even if you take out the Soprano part, I think there is something to be said about knowing, for a woman like her, knowing when a guy's just head over heels. Like, I got him. Like, anything I want him to do, he will do it. And she knew that from the first time he laid eyes on her. Like, oh, this nigga on my team, heavy. Like, let me see how far I can stretch this. And that might have been part of it. And she even went above. Listen, man, I left the digit off. All right.
Yeah, I hit you. You hear from me. You gonna hear from me tonight.
I'll see you at work. I'm not doing all that. I'll see you at work. Stop playing.
That was funny how those are two separate answers.
Nah. I'll be calling you tonight.
You hear from me tonight, and I see you.
because I'll have my get back later.
Now, if you AJ, you 100% are calling all.
Yeah. Like I'll have my get back later. Like but yeah, I do think like she probably got plenty of dudes that you know what I mean, like, oh, she could leave the number off or have them like all of her. I think when she's looking at it, if whoever's over I feel like Tony's the head, whatever, the president of the construction, and when you see his name, Tony Soprano, and then you find out AJ, you say, oh, wait a minute, Anthony Soprano, Anthony Jr. Soprano. Then you're like, oh, this is the all the way up, son. Oh, okay, that's it. You know what I mean? Which I think once we get later down the road, it all to me confirms like that's what you was on the whole time. But we go to the next scene and we get what Tony calls Juliana, calls Kaisha for a deal, but we know how he gives it up, and he says, I see you and I want you, kind of getting to that point. But she humors it, and they set up.
You had my attention, now you're wasting my time. That's a bar right there. That's a bar.
You had my attention, now you're wasting my time. Mm-hmm. But then we get like a weird kind of flashback of Chris and
hold on real quick. Yeah. In this scene though, this is I wanted to speak to this and how it ties into the Carmela scene.
Okay.
I was riding, of course he's trying to get her. We know he's trying to bag her. Tony a boss. He's showing like, I was thinking about like flipping this warehouse and letting you get some profit from it. That's a boss move. Being able to call that's your game right there. That's the pickup line. That's how you try to reel her in. Like, I seen the property over there. I know you dealing the property. You're going to be able to call the people that selling it, get a deal on it. Then I'm going to give it to you to flip, and you make some money off of it. I make some money off of it. Like, we just did this. He thought of that just trying to get her in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Carmela been telling him this shit for years. She talked about it in Whitecaps when she was like, "You don't see me and what I'm trying to do." He presented this lady with an opportunity that could have gone to his wife and she would have been fulfilled. But he don't look at her like that. He don't look at her like somebody who could pull that off. He look at her like he credited her in that other scene. Oh, you did two beautiful kids. You're a mother and all the stuff that you said was sweet, Mo.
Okay, so this is where you're
still. That's where I was going. Yeah, that was the point I was going to break up. It still goes back to her point in Whitecaps as you don't see me. Like she sees Angie Bompensero and those ladies as I want to be that, but Tony don't see her like that. And we know Tony don't see her like that from how he responded to her in that kitchen scene and how he just put this play together. Like you could have easily did that with your wife.
Yeah, but that's until you took the money out of the bird feeder. and everything he said you got from the sweat of my brow, you're entitled to shit. His issue with Carmela is always is like, okay.
Yeah, you just the house. You're just my wife.
Yeah.
Like I look at Gloria, I look at this chick, I look at everybody else like these are
they
successful
were
women.
established before I got on the picture. You're not established. And in order to get I know what he I know what he
I know what he
Nigga say.
I know I know what you mean. That's why I just
there with
glossed
Ghost.
over it.
Hey, that's right there with Ghost, right?
That's right there, the love of my life.
This nigga say you're just my wife. Yo,
But no, I ain't saying
I know what you mean. You're saying
that's
like,
how Tony looking at it though. Tony looking at it like, bro, you're just my wife. Like you should be happy to be a part of this shit. Like he feel privileged to be dealing with everybody else though. That shit's crazy.
You ain't shit but my wife.
Yeah, you Tony Soprano wife. Like why can't you see that?
Yeah, if you still gonna be Quincy McCall's wife, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, like you out here trying to do stocks and build spec houses. Just be my wife. And that's crazy for him to think. That's crazy for him to think that though.
But yeah, it is, and I mean
that goes to her complaint.
That she has a valid point on her complaint, but on the other side of it, again, it's like he you know. He said, all you do is bitch and move this, bitch.
Because he's not giving her the opportunity to do other shit. And that's what she's trying to explain it.
But he kind of has though. Like that's the thing. She did the stock
like
market. She did the stock market thing. And
he didn't want her to do that.
But
she was saying he was bitching about me getting my real estate license. Like he don't want her to do anything. Like your definition and role in this world is you're Tony Soprano's wife. That's how he's looking at Carmela.
Yeah, right.
And right. And on the rewatches and stuff now, even with the revelation of watching it with this episode, it's like, okay, I get her point more so now. And I see how smart she is because of the way that she was moving around with knowing that's how he's thinking about her. I'm still like, it's like the psychiatrist dude told her, like, you know full well, like, bro, you just as wrong as he is because you are like letting this shit happen. But then it's just like Tony going to therapy and not taking any of that shit on it, making him a better criminal. That made her better. It's like, okay, I know it's happening and I'm going to benefit from it. Any way I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the attraction that Tony has, I mean, setting up those plays, but I think Melfi talks about it later, so I'll just elaborate a little more there because Tony definitely has a type when it's not Carmela, you know what I mean? And we can we can see it through.
That's the sick shit about it. She wants to be the type that he wants, though. He's just not looking at her like that. Like he feel like I gotta go cheat to get that.
Right, but at that point,
your wife can be that.
Which can, but it's like at this point, it's kind of like it's too familiar. Like even if you be that, I will always know you as just like family. Like
yeah, but I can't blame Carmela for that.
I know I can't blame that. I don't blame her on for what she's trying to get across. I don't blame her for what she's trying to do. What I'm saying is, and then I'll give her some more credit too, where she was trying to like when they were doing a divorce, trying to get it on. Well, even then though, you still were going back with your hand out. You still never really made your own way. Like she never made her own way. And that's kind of the thing.
Because
like,
he didn't. But again, I agreed with you on the first rewatches, but now that I'm looking at it as we're going through it this time, I think it's more so like he didn't want her to be that.
He wasn't supportive.
And what she was telling him is like, I can be these bitches that you cheat on me, the one leg chick that you think got so much to say. I can be that. I just need you to like help me in that sense, like you are helping them per se. But he feel like I don't have to help them, so he want to help them. He feel like he have to help Carmela because of how he look at her. And all Carmela is saying is, give me the ball, coach. Like, I can show you what I can do, as we've shown by how she's manipulated him.
But it'll never end, though. Like, that's the issue. I think he can't get it.
That's your wife, nigga. It ain't supposed to end. Like, yeah, you supposed to.
But
But
what I'm
game.
saying, but that's
She's
the difference.
Just his wife.
But you just pull the brakes. You're just okay. No,
and that go back to the problem. He look at her like that.
What? But then, like I said, but it never ends. Like, oh, that's your wife. Oh, so you're not like them then. Because I don't have to keep on, like when I do, oh, Tony, can you lean on the builder inspector? Oh, Tony, can you make sure that Tony, can you, it'll never end with you. So you can never really be like them. Like you can't be a Juliana where she's making this flip with the Jamba and possibly getting another flip off. You can't be like a Gloria Trillo selling a car. Like, I don't need you, Tony. I sell 3 of these a year and I'm straight. You can't be, you know what I mean? Like
you can't maintain that. Like, I can put you in position.
You're gonna need me every time you turn around. Tony, can you talk to such and such? Tony, can you? Only time Carmela really got it off, other than this episode, was really like when she. I mean, and even then, I guess she didn't get it off according to Rich. Like the reveal of trying to get Meadow get that letter of recommendation from the Cusimano sister. And she it still didn't end up working. So it's like she can't really get it. She ain't really.
That's a good point. So she is who Tony thinks she is, but she don't see that.
She don't see that. Like, that's the problem. Like, even if you try to, you wouldn't be able to. Like, I think he has a different. That's why Angie can finesse.
And she fantasizes about being that, and she thinks she can be that. And Tony trying to tell her with street smarts, like, you not that, bro. Like
where do you think AJ gets that from? Like, I think when you look at AJ, remember,
that's a good point. That was a good response to that.
He got him out the police station. He says, "You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy. You're not like that.
Why are you trying to be like me?" Like, and that's, I think, what he's saying to Carmela. Like, why are you trying to do these things as if I can't take care of you? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Nigga Spike said, you just my wife. You act like I love you or something.
You act like I love you or something.
All you are, my wife.
You know your job.
Yeah, I know we ignorant. Well, there you go. There's a preview of our character analysis of a Carmela Soprano for a Back of the Bing episode. There's a preview right there. So we, like I said, we get this little flashback, and this is where Chris and Juliana, pretty much have met each other, and it's not a bad scene. It's just an awkward transition for me. And pretty much this is like after Tony snubbed her the first time. But go ahead, Rich.
The only thing I was gonna say is I think it's unsopranos like for them to do this and just kind of throw this random. You don't know until after it that it's a flashback, and that's how they met. But it also shows you 2 important things. A, they met in during recovery, which is Murmur breaks it down for it later on. And also her having a flashback right after getting off the phone with Tony Sopranos lets you know she's fucking with Chris.
It's because of Tony.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking about, like, I'm happy. Like, I'm really happy. And when the last time y'all niggas had a flashback in the middle of the day about a woman? You know what I mean? Just on some, like,
oh, man, yeah, like, you're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So for that to happen,
it's real though. Like, it's real when you still think about, like, dang. You start rubbing your nose.
Remember, Chris the little.
You shouldn't have Ray J text out. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't know, but anything involving Ray J, I know it's on.
Rich know what I'm talking about. Rich,
I know exactly
what
you're talking about. That's what all week, man. And like I said, this is like the high school shit. These niggas he asked her if she wanted to get some coffee. Next thing you know, they in the car. Bro. They in the car parked outside the restaurant in the passenger seat.
She got
on some 15-year-old
I'm
shit.
with y'all. Like, she definitely.
That's how you know she got that walk, bro.
Got the silk shirt on. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
we can't wait till we get home.
Yeah,
I think it's to let us know, like, hey, Chris might be the man in this situation. Like, he might be the big dog. Like, Tony, you blew your chance, bro.
Yeah, and then you did it so, like, the way he did it was so. Like, stop.
I see why Chris thought I don't want I don't want no family with her.
That boy.
I said that shit before I met you.
Do you think that Chris may have felt that way too, Rich, and that's why he lied? Because again, I still don't see a reason to lie in the theater room to Tony. Like, as far as I'm concerned,
he knew he was wrong. That's like I don't know.
But do you feel like, oh, she might like me
with your
more?
dudes.
Well,
Nah, I don't think that was
it's the one up thing. He's still the boss, and it's the kind of one up thing. It's like I know you had a chance,
and you know she fucking with you too.
Yeah, and she was going to give you, she was going to give you the draws, and you turned it down. She came my way, and now she's not interested at all. And to know that you,
but Chris don't know he's shooting this shot. I'm saying like these.
She didn't reveal to him
unless she telling him like, well, okay, that would make sense why he lied if she was telling him, Tony called me today. He's still trying to do this, that, and the third. But they didn't show that to us on screen, so I'm assuming that she's keeping that to herself.
I think she told him.
Okay.
Because when we get to the later scene about him reading the script or whatever, it kind of felt like, okay, it's not your first time talking.
We've been talking about him,
which I do wish we got a little bit of that reveal, but I thought, that night, I think that night was when she got curved by Tony, which has made her go to the AA meeting. I think.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Which is why I think she was thinking about that memory when Tony had called, because it's like, it's because of you I ended up at the AA meeting, ended up meeting, the guy that I'm into like that, Chris. So, Tony, he's watching TV, and Carmela tells him about a private investigator that could look into AA's whereabouts.
Now you playing. Now you being funny.
Now this is where I started to ask it, like, okay,
this was the scene that made me think that. I was like, okay, she fucking around.
She know better, because we don't ever you don't bring anybody in this thing of ours. You talk about a private investigator. That's how you know.
Over a woman you don't even know like that or like that. Come on, man. Like this.
And to figure what out though. Like once he find, like let's assume that you think everything is above board. You don't think a mob boss, and you ain't thinking none of that. Like let's assume you just think I'm a normal waste management, sometimes dibble in illegal activity. Once he finds aid, because obviously you don't think I murdered her. Like once he find her, then what?
Yeah, what's that gonna do?
Oh, she's okay. Like, man, get the fuck out of here,
she
bro.
Gonna take her to the hospital. Like, look, Liz, she's alive.
Yeah.
Like,
she's alive. We found her in such and such. Like, why the fuck do you care?
Well, they broke up. That's the end of it. When ex-girlfriends go, that's the end of it. That's why I really feel like I'm with you on your theory, Spike. Because
that's like your mama ask you about your ex all the time, and you're like, "Ma, I don't know. Like, I haven't talked to him." Like,
bro, you got cousins like that. Every time you come in town, they be like, "Hey, you remember what's that, bro?
What about what such and such at?" Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like,
that was 10 years ago. Like, why do you always bring that person up every time we get together? Like, bro, I've been over there.
And to the point, even if I do know, what does that do for you? Why the fuck do you care?
Right? Like, why is this the?
You knew them through me.
That's it. So yeah, she was flying this scene though. I thought the big collars was kind of. I was like, I'm digging it.
Get out of my face with that bullshit though.
Well, she is wilding, but like this is putting the egg.
They said it's not as expensive as you think, because I'm the one that's got to pay for it, man. Get out of my face talking about what's expensive, what's not.
And I don't care how expensive it is. It's stupid. I don't even care how much it costs.
But yeah, but think about it. This is the max of. Tony is the husband. If you're in a position as Tony, this is the max of. She's been like leaving tidbit nuggets of Adriana throughout this this season.
Tony better than me, because I might have fucked around and say, you know what, I rocked her shit.
Now you're what would that make Carmela at that point?
An accessory. I know you can't do it in real life, but I'm just saying, like
my wife. That'll make her my wife. You
just
can't testify against me. You just take this information.
She's in witness protection.
Do what you want to with it. Yeah.
She's in witness protection.
Yeah, that's what that make her. Like, let me tell you what happened. Yeah, I agree with Rich. Me and Rich got the same personality. I'm like, listen, man, she dead. I'm gonna tell you right now, she dead.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what you want me to do about it. I've heard. I ain't even gonna tell her that. I heard through the grapevine she dead. Like I don't know what you're gonna do with that information. If it's gonna make you feel better, you're never find it.
I know you're not going to the cops.
Yeah, let's
you're
like
not married to me and going to the cops. Right. So literally, that will stop you in your tracks. Like she did. I don't know how. Did. I got on good. I got on good intel that she was into it with some people she should have been into it with.
As a matter of fact,
it was some black drug dealers.
I already got the PI because I knew you was worried about it, and guess what they told me? She did. I already took care of it. I knew you was going to ask. This is what we gonna do.
Niggas will lie like that.
I hate to tell you this.
Niggas
I
will
hate to
straight
tell
lie
you
like
this,
that.
right?
Yeah.
I hate to let you know this, but yeah, I already did all to let you right.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a
you know
good
what?
idea. I
I
thought
was thinking
about it,
about
and he
that
told me
too.
she did. She did.
Man.
Sorry.
You got me concerned.
Yeah.
So
I'm
gonna finish my ice cream. You deal with your grief, and we go from there.
I thought long and hard about what you said the other night. Like really sell it. Like, you know, and it disturbed my soul as well when I thought about.
So I got somebody to look into it.
You know,
Guess
yeah,
what?
like
She's
you just
dead.
start like.
You're right. She's missing. She's dead. She's not gonna.
Like Tony did with Johnny Sack at the funeral.
Your dreams are correct, Carm.
Remember, he's like, actually, we was up in there. We were looking for we was looking for his daughter. Actually, I was gonna reach out to you. Remember when he was talking about Tony B? Like, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, Spike, you funny as fuck for that.
It's just flipping this line. Like, actually,
I already got the PI.
Yeah, that's.
I did all that.
You can rest assured.
Hey, my PI said, "Hey, been dead."
Been dead. I don't even know that. They don't even really know what happened. He's just dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Man.
Oh man. But yeah, you got to think at this point when you're the husband and she's building it up like to this degree, it's like, okay, it's really becoming a headache. Where it's like, bro, I need you to get out of my face for like days because all you're doing is this. So he goes back to Seal and pretty much telling her, hey, lean on the building inspector. My wife needs a career. And really, you think about, bro, you could have been done it, but Tony knew he could stretch this out as long as he could because the kids were still in the house. Now they're down in the house, it's like that's it. Like
Facts.
She ain't got nothing to distract her, so it's like, yeah, she need a career. So then we get Tony and Kaisha at the building, and Tony Tony just really don't get the concept of no. Like,
not at all. You don't become Tony Soprano by taking no.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm saying like with her, like he don't understand, like, because he's had the Gloria Trillos and the Valentinas, you know what I'm saying? And she lines up kind of in that career woman Goomar vibe. And but he just ain't got it with her. And she, you know.
Listen, one of the wildest bars ever. This isn't me, this isn't my lyric. I'm not a rapper, but one of the wildest lyrics ever is from one of Spike's favorite rappers, Luda. That nigga said, "How you ain't gonna fuck? Bitch, I'm me." That's exactly what Tony's mindset is.
Yep.
Like he cannot get past the fact that I'm Tony Soprano. How dare you not want to fuck with me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make sense that he can't comprehend him and really fucks with him. And
yeah, you remember how he was
this entire episode.
How he was with Melfi, remember? Like, go ahead, I can handle it. And then he called her to, see you on next Tuesday. Because he couldn't handle the fact that she just wasn't into. She's like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna date you.
Said, I want your mouth.
I think you're on mute, bro.
You're on mute, Spike.
I agree with y'all. I was just saying that's a weird thing that we do as men. Like the more interested she is in like showing like she being too much, like I'm cool off her, man. I ain't trying to deal with that. But if she acting like I ain't up on game. I don't know who you are. I ain't fucking with you. Then that makes us go harder with it. I think this was a good representation of that on screen with Tony. Because like Tony, like you said, Rich, who tells me no? What are you talking about? No. What does that even mean? I'm Tony Soprano. But that goes to how we are as men and like our misogynistic nature. Like the more somebody's like pushing away from us, the more you try to prove like I'm the man and can do that.
The challenge is a stat.
Yeah. Men like that. Not too much though. Like the whole Me Too movement canceled that kind of now niggas is like, I ain't trying at all. Like I need to know for real.
Yeah. Ain't gonna be none of that. That would not.
This would have been a Me Too. This would have been a Me Too case for Tony if it was in our era.
Benson would have pulled up on that nigga SVU.
Yeah.
Like, calm down, bro.
This would have been a lawsuit or some shit. Yeah.
You said SUV. Spike, you got a Ludacris box set?
I don't even have a Ludacris album. I won't even stream Ludacris.
Stupid.
I was just curious.
Oh man. But yeah, but she pretty much is not feeling it. She get out of there. And then we get Chris and Kaisha.
I'm just thinking about the first time Spike Lee probably saw one of them goofy ass videos with them big ass feet and arms. He was probably like, "What the?
He probably looked like
niggas like this nigga."
He probably looked like Tony. Remember how Tony looked at AJ when he was on the computer giggling with his shirt off? That look that
it's,
Tony had for AJ. That's how Spike
it's
was
so
looking.
funny.
In his chit chat rooms and shit.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
I
It's
bet
so
Spike was like,
funny
"What
that
the
you bring it
fuck
up,
is
bro. That
this?"
what's the one with the one big shoe that he had on?
Yeah.
You talking about the
I
get
was
back?
I was disgusted, bro. I couldn't believe it. Oh, I was disgusted. I still remember. It's funny that you say that. Like I was
Because I
literally
know you well
mad.
enough, bro. I know you well enough to know I
I
would have loved to see Spike Lee's face the first time he
I
saw
was
that
real
shit.
life
He was
mad.
probably
I was real
he
life
was
mad. Like,
probably
man, bro,
upset.
come on, bro.
You like
It's like I was,
that's why T.I. better than you.
and that's what it was based
that's where it
on
went
too,
to.
bro.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
This nigga was like
exactly what it
Patsy.
was
This nigga was
based
like
on.
Patsy, like it's over for the little man.
Yeah.
It's over for
for
real
the
rap.
little guy. Yeah,
It's over for real rap, man. This shit going too far.
That's exactly. But yeah, so we get Chris and Kaisha, and this is a low key interesting scene because there was some red flags that she kind of pointed out about the script, and immediately asked if Anthony is really like this. And it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. That to me is just like the low key subtleness of we haven't got fully what Cleaver's going to be yet, but we get this part of this little tidbit of it. What did y'all think about this scene? And she also says you may
You on mute, Rich.
My fault. Go ahead. She also says what?
Oh, she also says you may want to make it more of a mystery, which that was like a nugget that he really should have took into account, because I think that it has ramifications later. It's too spot on.
I keep going back to the scene where they were sitting there drinking the wine that they stole, and how they were just lying to each other, and Tony was looking at him like, "You really just gonna bullshit me like that?" In this scene, you get more of a feeling because she's asking him as an outsider, "Oh, this is how you really feel about him."
Mm-hmm.
And we do get another scene later on that kind of speaks to that as well, where it's saying like all of that, the guys that you're wearing over each other, oh, we're a family and we're in business, like y'all don't feel like that for real. And when you're not around the people that you have to have that mask on with, then it comes out. It comes out around Adriana. It comes out around this chick right here. Like you don't fuck with Tony at all. But the brilliance in Tony Soprano and how this show is written, and why I keep referencing the scene with the wine, where we talked about how both of them were sitting there lying to each other and looking at each other and knowing it. And it's similar to the scene where Carmela was like these people not your friends. Like the slow motion laughing scene where he goes in and sees everybody laughing and the joke not even that funny. Like this is how Christopher is feeling right now. Like she's telling him, you don't fuck with him, like you writing him this way, maybe you should hold back on it, because she has some understanding of what the mob is and how dangerous it may be for him to talk about his boss like that, but she don't have a full understanding. So she's explaining from him as a pedestrian, like this probably isn't good. You being too heavy-handed in how you feel about him. I thought it was a dope scene.
That was perfect.
Oh yeah.
It's wild that these niggas love each other though. They eat dinner, sharing intimate details.
But she is really like I've this time around I've grown to really like her. Like I didn't like her the first few times I watched it. This time around, it's something about her. Like she is one of them people you could just be totally honest with, and even she ain't gonna look at you like a piece of dirt. Like
this one of the ones that we've all had them before with our college years. I know you married, Mo, but these one of the ones you had like a strong 30-day love affair.
Oh yeah, you was locked in.
You know what I'm saying? Like
passionate.
You don't even every now and then you even think about like, man, I wonder what happened to her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is.
It was real for a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was real for about 30 days.
Yeah.
Like we was in love for 30 days, nigga.
Yeah. It was everything.
You sending them text messages like, man, I hope nobody walk past your phone when I send this, when you open this shit up. I hope you ain't showing nobody your phone and this message pop up.
Bro, I'm 4-layer caking right now.
That one right there, Rich.
I am caking crazy right now. Oh man, my
homegirl had my phone when you sent. Oh
man, did she see what I said? Like, you going around the corner ducking off to say the most romantic lines on the phone? Like,
oh shit!
Don't get me started. But yeah, like she kind of like he is. This is where you get the line. Tony has already had her in his mind, and just a very insightful understanding of his uncle, I thought, from Chris. Like, Chris and Tony really understand each other. Like, that's what makes it very interesting what you're saying, Spike, as far as them lying to each other. Because Tony knows Chris, but Chris knows Tony too.
Yep.
Like remember when season 4, when he was going to Jackie Jr., I catch him, I'm doing him tonight. He's like, no, you're not. Why not? Why not? He can't do that. He's a made guy. Like, because again, and we'll get the later scene of like them and that thing there. So he knows Tony as well. But yeah, Juliana says that she's not a parking spot, and I'm glad she stood up for herself in that way.
That was a good line.
That was a really good line. But but it's funny when she said I'm not a parking spot, I thought about Adriana now being a parking spot. So we go to the next.
That's why it was a good. That's why it was a good line.
That's why it was a good line. Yeah, it was long-term parking for her. So we go to the Leotardo crew, and Phil has a conversation about how to approach this tension with New York and the Soprano crew. Butch pretty much says, if you don't, you need to whack a boss. If you don't whack him, whack somebody over there, an eye for an eye. And so again, the only thing I want to say is I just love how Phil is still holding on to his old school. He's still like from that elk. He did 20 years in the can. He's still holding on to that elk. Like, I won't whack a boss. I won't do it. It was wrong then. You know what I mean? So
the Phil to the Johnny to Phil transition was crazy. Like, have we ever seen any of these characters before? Have we seen any of these guys?
No, not.
Y'all remember?
No.
A couple.
So
I
think
we've seen a couple of them, like minor stuff.
I think it's really cool that they show that this is the inside circle now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now we're having conversations with Phil and his guys versus like Johnny Sack is all the way out now. Yeah. He ain't dead. They ain't showed us. They ain't gave us no update. All we know is that Phil don't fuck with how he responded to that trial, and now I got my own thing going on, and I'm powerful enough to do so. I thought this was real interesting in the sense of like them showing how Phil was able to transition into the power that he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phil eventually gonna learn that this is in at the end. And he's gonna have to play dirty. And I think it ties into the conversation that Kaisha and Chris have later. But yeah, Chris and Murmur, they're leaving the meeting, and there's some foreshadowing about the possibility of Chris falling back into it again. Obviously talking about junk. And it's ironic, we just seen him at the carnival, getting back into it. And then
and a luxury lounge where Murmur had to come fly out.
Yeah, he had to come fly out. Yep. Then with Tony on when they was drinking the wine, so yeah, he's been kind of already. We've been talking about like low key, like relapsing again.
Been teetering.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. But Murr says something that was interesting. He tells him that if this happens again, Tony is going to do some serious damage this time. What a haunting line that was. Did y'all catch that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, caught that.
But that was truth though. Like, bro,
facts.
Wilding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what's up. Like, him being Chris's sponsor, I know what happens if you fuck up. So, and I'm mildly associated, so I know it ain't just you fabricating it or no shit like that. It was a really interesting conversation, and one of the things that fucked with me about this episode was the timing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a better grasp on like the time aspect of how far this was from when they went out there and he was wild, and like you said, it took you that long to come back from that last bender that you went on, and the timing as to when he just started wilding out and like, we gonna put the dog food on aluminum foil and smoke it through a tube. Like, I would love to know the time frame of when those things happen, because it seems like he was spiraling. And if he was spiraling, it makes sense that what happens in the later episode happens.
Yeah, because
Tony would see that. Tony would be like, hey, something ain't right, bro.
Mm-hmm. He's been managing it enough. It is something interesting because it's like, if we really start harkening back, if we watch the episodes close enough, we could probably pick up where it is, because the last episode, Cold Stone, we could pick up that it's definitely, obviously, still, if it's not winter, it's about to be, because of how cold it was where Carmela was in Paris. So it's like, where were we when the season started and he got shot? You know what I mean? Was at the top of the year? Was it in the
Feel
summer?
like ages ago, right? It feel like damn near a year done passed since he got shot.
It does. Like, because Junior
Like,
still out of the picture
how long
too.
was he in the hospital?
That's where the timeline gets tricky. That's
Like,
where,
yeah.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Murray. He definitely started making me like him a little bit more this episode because I wasn't a big fan of him, but I liked him a little more here. Less giggly, a little more wise. So, well, we get a short scene. Juliana and her sponsor at the store, and her sponsor hit. You know.
Hey man, this shit pisses me off every single time I see it, man. If you don't get your sick ass away from this salad bar, this fruit station, get your sick ass out the grocery store. What are you doing, bro? That shit pisses me. Nah, that legit pisses me off every time I see this. You're sniffling and shit, touching shit, bro. Stop playing.
Yeah, you acting all free. Like, come on, bro.
If I seen that shit, if I walked in the grocery, oh, they're so fucking mad.
Hey, especially post COVID. I always go in when I'm greeting people like this now. I hate when they come out with the open hand and now I gotta slap your hand because now I gotta worry about the next time I wash my hands. And I'm touching my face and shit like that. Like COVID made us like, I think, very sensitive to that. So I agree with Rich. Like it's always like
I wipe behind people all the time with my like sanitary wipes and stuff. Like if somebody like, hey, let me show you something on the computer, I'll be cool. And then when they get away and they not looking and stuff, I'll quietly pull out my wipe out of the thing. Quiet. I don't want them to hear because I don't want them to be offended. But I'm like, wiping the keyboard.
We ain't doing none of that quiet shit no more. I'm pulling that shit out in front of you, nigga. Yeah. Or I'm giving you the elbow. Boom. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, she pretty much says don't get involved with these mob guys. They're sociopaths and murderers. She hit it on the nose. AJ and Blanca, they watch. Is this what 40-year-old virgin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. AJ's not a virgin. That's not what we're supposed to believe here, right?
Nah, I just think that they're watching this. This is what they would be watching at this time.
Yeah, him and Devin was hooking up.
Okay, that's why I was making sure. I was like, I don't think he a virgin. Like if it was like some kind of like.
Yeah, that nigga said, "Hey, that nigga looked." She yelled down. That nigga said, "Why don't you come down and suck our dicks?" Yo, man, I'm wildly disrespectful.
Yeah.
And she hit the Carmela with the, my ex would just go down there and whip her ass, but
and that's the reason it made me think that line right there is the reason I think that she knew what she was doing when she started courting AJ in the beginning. Like even the weird ass way she walked over to that nigga in the bar. Like
that's what I'm saying.
She was definitely trying to court him, and she probably figured he had connections that could help her with her life. I don't know. Well, I won't say
she in the hood right now. She in the hood.
Yeah, she in the hood right now.
You know what type of pressure that put on you when she says she slams the window and says,
"My old dude used to go beat their ass."
My ex dude used to go beat their ass, but now they're back and that's it. Like that's it. Hey. AJ, you got to be compelled. You can't just say, "All right, well, come back down and watch the movie." Like, nah, you got to get up and handle that, bruh.
Now I gotta know, what would y'all do?
I say you can come over my house.
Solid response.
Just because I don't know these dudes, I don't know how thugged out, tough these dudes. I don't know. They got knives. I don't know what these dudes are. It's three of them. It's one of me, and I ain't even in the fighting mood. Like I ain't even. I'm watching 40-year-old virgin. I can't get my mind there fast enough to try to work them like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey man, I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget being in Toledo, man. I was at this chick house and then she randomly was like, "Hey, do you know how to change locks?" I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah,
I'm out.
Oh, no. Mad dogs.
I'm out. We can go over my house like most.
She said, "My baby daddy he might come through and I don't want him to." I say, "Yeah, that's my cue. I'm out of here." Some wild shit, bro. That's just one of those moments where you're like, you know what? I'm not involved in none of this shit.
Nope.
Ain't got nothing to do with
Mo, you good though, because you said you come to my crib. Like, I ain't shit. My shit would have been like, damn, that's crazy.
It's fucked up.
Like, that's crazy.
Now again, like I said, I gotta have you though. Because you way out of my league for you giving me attention.
Yeah, so he is putting the most effort in, but I'm
because she's so far out of his league though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so that she said, as soon as she said that shit, I'd have been like, "You and your ex still cool?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, still cool.
How far away he stay?
Hit that nigga up till him pull up.
Yeah, tell that nigga pull up, man. Tell that nigga they back.
Stupid. Tell them.
But I thought this was smart. This is probably one of the most redeeming AJ scenes of the whole series.
It is. It's very simpish, but you know. You know.
Yeah, no,
but that's AJ though.
AJ.
Adds up. Yeah, I genuinely fuck with this. Like, this is probably the smartest AJ has ever been throughout the whole series.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
okay, I get it.
I don't want no smoke, but y'all not about to fuck this up for me. Like, I ain't
Yeah,
never
nigga,
had
here go a
nobody like
bike.
Blanca. I don't care what y'all do. Here go a bike, nigga. Please, even if y'all just
And
leave
this
it 3
bike worth
hours,
about 500. Yeah.
give me these 3 hours, man. Please don't come back, man. I promise you. Like, I got another 500. I got another nigga $100 every week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I can make this
please give
good
us
for
some
y'all.
peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he comes back and he gets them to knock the speakers out, and they roll out, whatever. I still feel like it would took more than a bike, but yeah, we'll give it to him. That's just the audacity of the Soprano writers, like to think that.
No, I think this may be me as far as just being a Southerner and think this is how I look at New Yorkers, New Jersey, East Coast shit. I feel like if they hear him say it's worth this much money, then they feel like they can go sell it. I feel like it's the type of economy up in where like they hustle and bustle. They gonna take their bike and they gonna make them some money and go buy them some weed. Like that's what they want to do.
He's
They know. They know.
urban neighborhood.
Yeah,
So.
they know where they can sell their bike at. That's why it was appealing to them.
They can pawn it if nothing else. It's free.
AJ
Yeah.
would definitely get
No. They ain't even making it to the pawn. They're going to sell that bike tonight. Like if he said it was 5, they give him 2 for it, and they finna buy them a sack, get them some liquor, and go to another spot. Like they understood. I appreciate how they understood. Okay, it's a liquor.
Okay, you're right. Because there's a profit here, regardless of how much it is.
Yeah, we outside. Like we
Next time
outside.
they
Like I know what I can do with this bike.
Next time they see AJ, what else you got?
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
okay.
Now
Yeah,
you got
you gonna lick
headphones. Like exactly.
Okay, good point. I stand corrected. But once he gets them to roll out and he heads back upstairs, listen to me. Listen to me. I think she could be number one. She might be number one. This technique. I don't think nobody
series.
in the series like this number one. This is marvelous work.
This is number one simply from what AJ did to himself later on from not being able to access her anymore.
Oh yeah,
like we know what this is.
I knew. So I said, oh no.
Yeah, we know what this is.
That poetry emotion, like
bro, you put something like that on somebody like AJ.
Oh man,
come on, man.
Yeah, I'm crying at work.
Like, you ain't even talking about a real nigga right here. You talking about like somebody who ain't never experienced this before, probably never will again.
Never.
He gets something like that. She moving like come on, bro.
He'll be fantasizing about this later in life.
Yes, nigga, you gonna have a bag over your head sitting poolside. Yes, AJ is definitely gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen, my nigga.
Yeah, this is she's number one. Like I feel like once this scene came, I said no, that she has to be number one, and then we had to kind of figure out between Juliana.
I would say Gloria too. She number one, Gloria too.
Okay,
in like just what you need to experience. You have to experience this at some point in your life. It's her, then Gloria.
Do you put Valentina or Juliana or Kaisha? I guess Valentina or Kaisha.
Y'all be disrespecting Irina, man. That shit crazy to me.
Oh, Irina probably up there too. She probably. Yeah, she got a lot going on. She might be 3.
Rich right. Irina might be 3.
Now, we really sleeping on
that.
Svetlana,
might be the top 3
because
that's who I'm thinking about.
Svetlana probably when one
she
sense go down.
3. She might be 3. One leg.
When one sense go down, the other senses start working better. Hey, listen.
Right,
if we being 100, about her, this nigga marriage ended behind the one leg chick, bro. Like what we talking about?
Hey, listen, I don't know what shit. I don't know the capabilities, but listen, I believe you.
That one leg, that one leg wop different, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, we gonna do a record one day. It'll probably be on the text chain, but. Oh man! All right, y'all. Know we.
But we know who number one is.
This is her. Like she's number one.
This is number one.
All due respect, you have no idea. Like,
no idea.
Yeah. So she rocks his world, and then he's definitely in love. She's rubbing her ear. Like she's doing a good job, like of playing him because like at that point, like once you rock me like that, oh, you really like me. You really into me. Like because I don't expect you to go this far to play me. You know what I mean? Like when you start doing stuff like that, like you rocking my world like that, you intimately looking at me after it's over with, and I'm like, oh, she really liked me. So and something about me is, because you always believe like at some point the hot girl, every hot girl likes a guy that may not necessarily be the hot guy, but you happen to tickle her fancy, so to speak, or whatever. And maybe he's thinking that, but anyway.
Blanca out here getting her Joy Taylor on with this nigga, boy.
That's funny.
Blanca out here getting her
Yeah,
Joy on.
rocking it.
Hey,
You can
Rocking
have
it.
Joy
whatever you
that's
like.
that's another one of them ones you can look at it and be like, okay, I see it.
I
Yep.
get it,
I
man.
can
Shit,
see it.
listen.
Yeah, I be crying too.
What's the
Yeah,
fuss about?
I could see it. I could see it.
No
Like
arguments here.
she be right up there with Blanca as far
Yeah.
as what we
What's
got
the fuss
going.
about? She was out here putting it on niggas.
So we get Chris and Kaisha, and she's sick as a dog and is dedicated to not taking meds. I thought that was respect. I did like the fact of that, but she did tell him to get some valerian tea and drop
Valerian
10 back.
Steel.
Valerian Steel. And
I try to laugh off Game of Thrones like it. This one
equivalent.
I didn't know.
This nigga both said, ha ha.
Ha ha. I didn't know that about Valerian Tito. That was like have y'all drunk it before?
No,
Nah.
where I don't even know where you get it or what.
Bro, if you yes, YouTube, it's relax tea, like any chameleon tea, anything like that.
Oh yeah, I like a good
it'll make you
relaxed tea.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had no idea as far as putting. I would put 2 tea bags and it'll have you.
Yeah, two will get you through there. That's what I was going to ask you. What's the
8
most I ever put in a session?
For tea, or you talking
Yeah,
about
for
something
tea.
else?
For tea.
Oh,
For tea. No, I mean I know y'all get to. I'm talking about tea. Like
I did 3 chameleon. I did 3 chameleon teas, like
like back to back or in one mug.
One mug.
Oh wait, what was that like?
Yeah. I slept good.
Okay.
Yeah, I slept real good. It's real
3.
good
I've
sleep.
done 2. I'm one day I may try 3, but 2 I've definitely done. It's like
Like you have to plan on being like I'm going to sleep. I ain't gonna watch no Netflix movie. Nigga. Yeah, I ain't feeling nothing. I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah, these herbs and all that. Yeah. What about you, Rich?
What's that? What's up?
How many tea you drop in the mug at one time?
Regular tea?
Just like the most you've ever.
The most? I don't know, 2.
2? Okay, yeah. I about to say 2, it feels like, okay, well, we're doing a lot when you get to the 2. 3 is like, okay, you got real intention. Now, her talking about 10 tea bags is like,
ooh. That's what I was surprised by. Like she said, it's like a volume.
Like a volume.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
I bet it is, boy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so.
And Chris is looking at her too, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He kissing her and shit. Shout out to that, man. He do love her.
Yeah, it's kind of like she's sick, but I still remember when you healthy.
Shout out to him.
He got a pregnant wife at home. You can't be coming home getting your pregnant
I'm
wife
out,
sick,
man.
bro.
I ain't
Chill,
buying
relax.
medicine, man. I'm gone. Let me know when you feel better.
Yeah, it's just such a different connection. She's the closest thing to Adriana to him. Like I feel like. But she's even more embracing who he is. Adriana still wanted him to be like a better man, and she just embraced him for what he is. Like, and that's why I think this relationship is such a small window in the world, but it's such a pivotal one that I enjoy. But anyway, is this where he does the get rich or die trying joke?
Yeah, he said he got to get rich or die trying in the down in the car. It was giving them away at the car wash.
And wasn't somebody that was a part of the Sopranos, a part of the Get Rich or Die Trying, that was like an inside joke or something?
Yeah, the co-writer of this episode, he wrote Get Rich or Die Trying. He wrote the movie.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was.
They kind of weaved it.
Yeah, that was nice. We get
Terrence Winter.
Shout out to Terrence Winter. He one of them ones too. We get the Sopranos family. Sopranos family is having Christmas. Or is this is Christmas, right? Or is it still Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Leading up to.
Oh, leading up to. Okay, so we're getting.
That's usually with Christmas trees.
Okay. I thought. Okay, So yeah, but Tony gets the building inspector to send the approval in the mail. Oh, you know what? There was Christmas trees. You're right, and this is his Christmas flex. Like
it's a Juneteenth tree. Celebrating Juneteenth.
It's a Kwanzaa joint.
Yeah, Kwanzaa, yeah. Could you imagine the Sopranos celebrating?
That would be so funny. But yeah, I don't really have nothing to add to this scene other than like she got the building inspector thing.
Yeah, you got the message. You got the message.
Yeah, instead of
I'm
still
glad. I'm
playing.
glad you got the message.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that we'll come back to that later scene about the two business cards. Phil and his wife, they talk about Christmas plans and the menu, and Phil doesn't feel well, and his wife, there's just something about her I just cannot stand. Like she is like top tier, like annoying to me for some reason. Like
She is very unlikable.
yeah,
Yes,
ridiculous.
they do a good job with the limited screen time that she has. It does a good job of showing how she affects Phil.
Mm-hmm.
She the reason to feel the way he is.
Hmm.
Like she is a real like grinder. Like shut up, stop talking to me. And Phil carries that out into the world when he's dealing with other people.
Mm-hmm. And she's super staunch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right there with him.
Yep.
He can have a sit down with his wife. Like she's like that type
Facts.
tough for real. uh, but yeah, he's saying he ain't been feeling well, and you know we'll get a later scene that he goes to the doctor in the next scene. Pretty much, the doctor says he got a clean bill of health, and that's
you gassed up, nigga. That's all.
you
He
gassed
said he
up.
full of gas.
Take you some Pepto. Take you some Pepto and call it a day.
Oh shit.
Full of gas. It's crazy. Chris pulls up on Kaisha, and what is this that they were doing?
Well, when they
What do you mean?
What are they smoking?
Heroin.
Okay. So the Valerian tea, we're assuming that already passed.
That's the crazy thing about this episode and the timeline of it.
Yeah.
Like, when was this? Like, when was this from the point that I was just talking to you and you were sick and you didn't want to take like NyQuil because it had this bullshit in it, and now we out in the parking lot smoking heroin? How did this happen?
Yeah, that's like an issue.
Other than, again, go back, WAP. Other than WAP. What you said the issue was?
Well, the issue as far as the episode, the timeline of it all, like they're like, y'all spent. There's a few episodes y'all kind of spent more time than we needed to elsewhere, and y'all kind of felt like y'all rushed through this because you knew you about to hit us with the fireworks in season 6B. So it's like y'all rushed this episode in from a timeline standpoint, because in the older season y'all had a whole Thanksgiving episode and y'all had a whole Christmas episode. So it's like now we got
and
it
these
all
were merged.
Yeah.
And the way that they presented them and how they were merged was crazy too, in the sense of like it was just a collage, especially with these two. Like, when is this shit happening? Like, what's the time frame? It was really confusing. And one of my biggest critiques about the episode, like you said, like, we here now and you pulling up on me to smoke heroin in a parking lot in a car, and you was just complaining about not wanting to take NyQuil.
Right. It's like a deleted
How
scene.
the fuck does that happen? Yeah, like what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. But Phil is having some breathing issues, and then they go back to the hospital. And it's the same doctor, ironically enough. And did he have a heart attack? Is that what was?
Yeah,
chest pains.
Bro, I would be so pissed at that doctor, bro. Like when I get healthy, you're getting whacked. Like,
you guys taking our doctors now?
Oh yeah, we absolutely doing that. You playing like, bro, you don't tell me you just got gas. What are you talking about?
Nah, that is fucked up.
Like, you sent me home, said just take some Pepto, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm having a heart attack. Like, what? As soon as I get well, you getting whacked. Like that ain't even without a doubt. We just gonna have, we're gonna put the plastic bag over your head. And
what you think about Tony's excitement when he gets the news?
Okay, that's what I want to get in. Well, then what do you think about it, since you brought it up? Because I want to see what you think, because it's very interesting.
I'm not trying to look at this from the perspective of Tony Soprano. Me personally, I don't take amusement, or I don't revel in that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like somebody. Somebody can be a pain in my ass, but they ain't gotta die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell by everyone else's reaction too. Like, yo, Tony, man, chill, bro. It ain't that deep. Like, this nigga, you need me to repeat myself? He had a big heart attack. He might get up out of here. And Tony up here, man, around for everyone. Club soda for the messenger. And Seal tried to tell him at least he's the enemy we know. I wonder how much of that, when I look at Seal, when I look at Paulie's reaction, I wonder how much of that is them being older men and just being like, damn, our lives got to be more than this. Like, you can't get bad news. There's people in this world that'll get news like that and toast to it. Like, damn, is that really what we doing? Like, we live a fucked up game, but there's still some rules and some codes, and it shouldn't be like this.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like that older man like vibe. For me, to me, I keep this in mind that Paulie has been looking at Tony different since the veto thing. Like if you keep track, he looked at him funny. Like he was kind of like, man, this thing is dying off, and he couldn't even stand to be in the being at Sacrials with them talking about it because he was like, bro, y'all seriously considering keeping him alive? And then when Bobby got shot, and them two having a phone call, and he pretty much like, you ain't visit Bobby yet, and he was like, no, and he's looking at him like, damn, bro. And so then you get this moment. And that's why I think when we get to a theory in the last episode, that's why I think Paulie has quietly been building towards something mentally, so because it's like, dang, bro, you really like just kind of ruthless. And even Tony said, fuck that loyalty shit, remember? So it's like,
yep.
So.
No, that's a really interesting perspective on it. I see what you're saying with that. I also kind of get what Rich is saying too, but I disagree in the sense of it goes to a point that you make consistently, Mo, when there was a switch with, are we supposed to like Tony? Like we see how he responds to this, drinks all around, and you can catch in the background how Paulie is looking at him. You can catch how Seal is looking at him and like, bruh, we do a different thing. Like we don't celebrate if a nigga have a heart attack. Like if we were going to take him out, and it was something that we did, and yeah, we beefing with him, yeah, we'll celebrate that. But all of us are successful to the shit that happens in life with family, and that's what the show is about. Like even though Tony's a mob boss, like he deals with family and all these different things, health and wives, and it's weird for them being as old school as they are to see Tony celebrating. Oh, this a moral victory. This ain't nothing that we did. This ain't no shit that like this some shit that can happen to any of us. Like you shouldn't be cool with this.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really important point, especially speaking of what you said, Mo, and why Paulie like turned down a position. Well, excuse me, I don't want to spoil it. And what happens with Paulie later.
Yeah.
And the conversation him and Tony have. So
yeah,
this is an interesting scene as showing just how disconnected Tony is.
Because we ain't agreed to Wackfield.
Yeah, we're not even trying to kill dude.
Yeah, we ain't
like there's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason for that to happen. And he says, "Oh, he's such a pain in my balls." Yeah, we get that, but still, bro, like business is business. And now this nigga had a heart attack, and you like, yes, he had a heart attack. Let's order drinks for everybody. Like, nah, that's not.
Because if he's gone, who gonna run it over there? We don't have no real relationship.
And now our jobs are harder. You the boss. Like we're reporting back to you on how we have dealings with these people over there. And now if there's a power vacuum in New York, if Phil not there and he died from this, we got to figure out who we fuck with in the power vacuum. And then we got to report back to you. And now if we report back to you on some bullshit, it's because everything is going on over there and Phil died of his heart attack. This is just like, it's harder for them to process this when Tony just looking at it like, oh, I don't fuck with him.
Yep. Yeah. Very insightful scene. Like it's very, very insightful.
Agreed.
So Bobby visits Junior, and I thought it was interesting, but kind of a beautiful moment. And he Junior asked, "Don't y'all know what bacala is? It's salted cod." And he says, "We taught the world how to eat." What a funny line from Junior, obviously, because taught the world how to eat. I thought you were a bacala man. You know what I mean? That whole tie back to season 1.
Hey,
you're doing eating sushi.
Forgot all about Junior. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Facts.
Forgot all about Junior until he popped up in this scene.
Yeah, that's what makes the later seasons so different, because I miss Junior. I miss what he brings to it, and that's why I always feel like that season 2 to 4 is like the golden era of the series. It's the anyway, we'll have that conversation at some point when we rank the seasons, but yeah, so Bobby pretty much says that, like, look, man, I can't, I here to take this envelope back. we can't be rocking. And it's funny, you kind of forget, like, oh, Junior, you shot Tony. Like, you again feel so far away. It's like, bro, what do I look like? I was supposed to be there the day you shot Tony. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I can't even rock with you no more, for real. That's the boss, and that's what it is. And so it's kind of like his final goodbye, and it was very interesting. Like, what a closing relationship part. Yeah.
Such a great scene in the sense of, Junior is still Junior, but still they go to the JFK shit and I didn't act alone. He's like, oh, he is crazy though. Forgot about that. And continuing to add onto the fuel of the fire that we talked about several times in this show is like, is Junior bullshitting or does he know what he's doing? And this scene still leaves you with the same question this late in the season. We were like, I don't know. I don't know if he's senile. I don't know if he's crazy. I don't know if he's acting right now. Such a brilliant scene.
Yeah. And Bobby has the eye patch off, so that gives us a little bit more indicator that time has passed. So
True. That's a good point.
Just a little subtlety. I know that if they're going to do, yeah, go ahead.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
Just that. Of course, Sopranos is hierarchy when it comes to stuff like this. Even though I'm not a big fan of this time lapse that they did, but they are brilliant enough to give you subtleties, to give you the sense that time has passed. So with something as small as his eye patch.
I like how they showed him giving the black dude the envelope too, and how they come back to play.
Yeah. Yep. Like, hey, look. I mean, what are you gonna do?
That's a nice envelope too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
You working randomly? Yeah, that's a nice envelope.
That's a nice little, yeah.
Right place, right time.
Boy, you better look out for the Monopoly, man. Come on.
Go
for real. We get to
landed on boardwalk. You blowing them under here.
Under the border.
With a slong in Giant's
That's
mouth.
Crazy song, bro. Where's the karaoke version? But Tony and Chris interact after Tony's seen him talking to Kaisha, and I just thought this was just hilarious. Asking her like, oh, she was trying to hook me up with her black friend, getting her something for Christmas, and he says,
"What'd you tell her?"
What'd she say?
Rich, what'd he tell her?
What'd she say to get?
Luther Vandross
box set. That's why I said Christopher black chick, just because he knows enough to know, like, okay, that didn't sound too far-fetched.
Oh, bro, no. Yeah, not even knowing too much to know, bro. Like, what year is this where, like, the only black person that Chris could think to reference was Luther fucking Vandross? This is in the 2000s. Luther was famous in the 80s, nigga.
It's
like, what are we talking about?
This is still like Can I Take You Out Tonight though, right? This is still around that time,
bro. Luther Vandross?
Yeah, he had a late run.
Stop. No, he didn't. The Dance with My Father shit was cool. Yeah, the Dance with My Father shit was cool. And if I'm somebody like Tony, I noticed that. Like, really, Luther? Like, bro, they old enough to know when Luther was popular. We're younger. We don't even know Luther's prime. I just watched the doc with him on CNN, and shout out to Rich. I know he was gonna make a joke. This was my number one listened to artist for all year on Apple. Like, this is my number one. All 2024, my most listened to artist was Luther Vandross. And to know that his prime was in the 80s, and that's the reason that's my most listened to artist, because my dad and my mom put me on him, and him to be speaking about it in the 2000s is insane. This is
how
insane.
Old is this Goomar? How old is
it's my racist shit? It's my racist shit for with David Chase.
Yeah, it is. That is right. But this one was like a little more tasteful, I guess.
Like, that's who you came up with? It was.
Yeah,
you can tell. I love everything about that scene. I love Tony's look over there because he knows something going on. I love when Chris recognizes that Tony's looking at him and kind of has that freeze, and then realizes I can't freeze. I got to keep moving. I love Tony even asking him like, "What you tell her?" because he knows he's lying. Like, I was waiting for Tony to be like, "Man, stop bullshitting me." And it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. That's her friend. The girl, Yo Goomar, that's her friend. Why is she asking you what to get her homegirl? Shouldn't she be telling you what to get her instead of the other way around? Like, you know her better than her now? Like, this shit don't make sense.
Good.
So good. So good.
Something subtle in the background. if you look at the fire truck and you look at Chris, I just called it because I happened to pause. Behind the fire truck, it specifically says cat grooming. How crazy is that of a deep cut for later in this series?
I know, right?
Wow, I never caught that before.
Like,
this show ridiculous. Like, if I actually stopped and got all freeze frames, we probably would have caught so much over the years of doing this. But you know, we told y'all this ain't that type of show. But like, I just happened to pause. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But like,
this
bruh,
is such a, this scene right here is great though. Like this, this, and I say that knowing what it leads up to. Like all of us here know what it leads up to, and for them to foreshadow it this way, like with the skepticism, same thing with the wine drinking episode. Like it's so good because we know what happens.
It is, and it ain't nothing like the feeling like that, you know, Tony here, and then like the later scene where you feel like you better than the dude that she's involved with, like that feeling, like that, you know, that's a funny feeling.
You let that nigga. What's the scene of The Wire? The Wood.
The Wood.
Oh, you let that nigga Terry hit.
And I know I look better than him.
I know I look better than him.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing worse. Listen, ain't nothing worse than finding out somebody else hit and you ain't like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and you look at somebody else like a poo putt.
Because he look at Chris like Chris, that's on junk. Come on, bro. Yeah. So yeah,
and you ducking my calls.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I like about it. Like, but yeah, we go to the next scene, and Chris and Kaisha, they're high and they're talking about, you know, they're high and that they're functioning. And then they talk through the scenario with Tony, and we find out they're not having sex anymore. So another small indication. Time has lapsed, you know. Okay,
she meant like she's so high that she means literally. Like we're literally not having sex at this moment. They're still fucking. Look at how she dressed. They probably just got finished fucking.
He just got done fucking her.
Yeah,
she just means I'm sweating. Woo.
Yeah, she's so high that when she says we're not, she means at this very moment we're not. They're definitely involved. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anything to talk about.
Well, I thought because I think ain't heroin one of those ones that make you not want to, like, or you don't get rectal issues? That's coke. Oh, okay. All right, fair. All right.
I don't know if heroin does it either. I ain't been privy to do either one.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's coke that makes you like not want.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they literally weren't involved anymore, they broke it off. Chris wouldn't even talk to Tony about it because there was nothing to talk about. Like whatever. I'm not about to apologize for my past sins. It's more so she was so high that she's out of it and just like, oh, but we ain't fucking at this moment. No, you're right.
At this present moment, like
we still, yes.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying. Her saying at this present moment makes me believe since they enabled each other and they moved from this close bond of having sex and then talking about AA and then teetering back into it. I almost feel like their bond is so deep they're not having sex. They're now getting high and just functioning. They could still be having sex, but I always interpreted that they don't even have sex. They're just doing junk together, but they understand that's like their sex now. Like that's the way I've always.
That's a deeper, darker criminal link.
I was.
What?
No, y'all, hold on, man. No. Y'all don't understand. No one will ever believe me when I'm about to say this. I swear, verbatim. I was about to use that Jay-Z line and say that's a deeper, darker criminal link. That's some other shit. I'm not making that up. I promise that's the exact line I was going to use. And I was like, ain't nobody
I believe you because I seen your face when I said it. I believe because and that's exactly what I was using in that Jay-Z quote. If you right, Mo, that's some crazy shit. That's even more serious. That's even more serious than the affair. Like we ain't even fucking I feel like they knew like we just getting high together. Like that's crazy.
That happens though. Like those bonds happen.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I understand what you're saying. I recognize those type of bonds, and if that's the bond that was, then I definitely understand how they play this out throughout with Tony and Chris. Like, but I never got that until you said that.
Yeah, because everything about their body language changed. It don't even look like he's leg wrapped around her. Like we got the other scene, you pulling her hair and then, you know, doing all this. And then like from the moment she got sick, it seemed like it transitioned obviously to Valerian tea, and then it moved into a different thing or whatever. But anyway, we'll get to it in that last diner scene. But let me move us through a little bit. Chris pulls up on Tony at the Bing, and Chris tells Tony that he wants to be above board, and Tony says he doesn't care about her. Typical reaction we would expect. And Chris feeling good about himself, like, cool, I did the right thing. In his head, you know.
Has that ever happened to y'all?
Had to reveal it to the homie, like,
nah, you the homie. Nigga, like you remember old girl, right? You know I've been fucking with her. Like
I feel like it's something like that. Yeah, actually, that actually happened. Actually, a chick did that. Well, my cousin, man. That hurt so bad. I still be hurt about it.
It's different when a chick do it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
About one of your homies.
She was like, "Hey," it wasn't even like we're getting together. It was just on some like, I like him. It's like, damn. So I'm not. What am I? Like, I thought we were. It's just like you kind of chose differently, but I always respected him because he never broke code, and she was you know very attractive, but he never broke code. You're like, nah, we ain't rolling like that.
Well, you that nigga, man, because I ain't never even thought about it.
What?
I'm talking about if your homie came to you and was like, "Hey, you remember old girl?" Yeah, I'm like,
oh, that happened. That happened too, but then it had a different.
I ain't never had a chick come to me though and be like,
"Oh, that happened." But I had a bro of mine.
Like, this been not never.
Well, but the way I found out with my bro, he didn't come to me. We were doing like this, like keep it 100 type of session. Everybody was in the hot seat, and I found out he was involved with somebody I was involved with, and then like the way
he ain't tell you.
Nah, because he didn't know either.
Same girl.
It's that part.
Same girl.
So, love some Waffle House, work at TBS.
She got a crib. Love some Waffle House.
The blue phone, nah, the red phone. She told me the blue was cut off.
Man, that was a good song.
It was. I still listen to that.
That's a good song.
Well, you
listen to everything over there, so you know.
I still listen to that. Fuck that.
That's funny. Well, let's see if we can flip it. Can we flip it? We get to Tony? Well,
and Melfi.
Yeah, Tony and Melfi, and he's complaining about not smashing her.
Tony hilarious. Hey, Tony are funny because once again the theme of this whole episode, when niggas are serious.
Yeah,
not joking. That shit. Tony is dead ass serious. Like he really deserves an award. He feels he deserves an award because I ain't having an affair with my wife.
Yeah, even though he's crazy. But his nephew,
turkey neck of a nephew.
Right. She says she reminds him that he doesn't have to eat every rigatoni that comes his way. And I was gonna ask this, but I think we already know. Like we say, why is Tony attracted to these specific type of women like Gloria, Melfi, Valentina, Juliana, Agent Deborah? You know, we obviously know it's the independent, you know, kind of opposite of Carmela, so to speak. But then there's these other ones that are similar to like the kind of needy, like Carmela, Adriana, Irina, and Connie from Barone Sanitation. You know, so that was kind of in that type of archetype or whatever. So, but yeah. But this is the thing I wanted to point out, and y'all can react whatever y'all want to say. But he flat out tells Melfi that the therapy isn't working at this point. I'm just here to hang out with you. Like Tony's been saying these subtle things that's telling us who he is. Like I told you, he said, fuck that loyalty shit earlier in this season. I'm like, and it was just like a passing thought. And now he's here. And you're like, you know how much he earns for me to get another boat? Like he's saying really who he is, and it's just being missed because a lot of us bank on the old Tony from earlier seasons. So anything I want to add to this session with Tony Melfi?
We're the same. We've been knowing this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is what the seed was planted for. What we understand why he was using Melfi for these sessions. Like this is where we clearly see, like, he ain't getting shit from this. He ain't trying to get shit from this, and she ain't really trying to push him getting shit from this. She kind of enjoyed this too.
Yeah,
because she kind of took that remark with a smirk and didn't address it in the sense of, like, no, I'm really trying to make a change. Like she didn't do that. So that kind of leans to her guilt in, oh, I just been helping this sociopath all this time.
Mm-hmm. Should she have ended the sessions here at this moment?
She should have addressed it.
She should have ended.
I don't know if she should have
Well, she
ended
should
it,
have
but she
ended
should have
way
addressed
before,
it.
obviously. But
yeah, when she went
She
on
should-
the lam, she should have ended that shit.
Good point. But she should have definitely said something about it, and she didn't.
yeah, because you ain't
Which
just
makes me
hanging
think,
out.
right? Which makes me think that Elliot was right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Elliot was right. 100%. Much as we dislike him, he was 100% right.
Elliot would have milked it
Melfi
too.
knew.
Elliot would have milked it too. He was trying to get secondhand info. Like
Facts.
with patient zero. So
Yeah, Elliot would have never let this shit go.
Nah,
He would
never.
always he would
Nah,
have
he
kept
would've
Tony
milked
around
this shit to
forever.
the end till Tony was dead.
yeah.
Straight up.
So I go through the last few scenes. We get a montage of Chris and Kaisha doing drugs. Tony and Satrial's talking to Agent Harris, and he pretty much gets the scoop that New York is coming back your way. Chris and Kaisha they have a conversation at the diner about pretty much what are they going to do with their relationship. I'll stop there. I know we got 2 more scenes after that, but I just stopped there. So the montage, them doing drugs, the Satrial's meeting with Tony and Agent Harris, and then them two at the diner and having that conversation about this thing of theirs and then their relationship kind of. What did y'all gather from those?
The main thing is it's just good to have people like Agent Harris. You're not working directly with him, but he can give you news like, hey, not you directly, but somebody close to you. Yeah, y'all might want to lay low. You know what I'm saying? Watch your head out here because you ain't popular in New York. That's just what it is. So it puts Tony on notice, and then obviously the Kaisha. Chris, you're already talking too much. You're doing too much. Like, bro, cut this off clean and just keep it moving. Like you acting like you breaking up with your wife. That's just your wife. That's just your girl, man. It's just your side. It's just your slide. Like, it ain't nothing that deep. Like, I can't do this no more. It's a conflict of interest. You be cool. I'll see you at a meeting.
Yep. But that WAP.
That WAP, yeah, you can't do it like that.
The WAP, when the WAP is in effect, that's what make you can't do it like that. Now, I like how she called it out. I thought the Agent Harris stuff was interesting in the sense of we get another scene that kind of pays off from this scene later in the series, like how invested Agent Harris is. I think that's a really interesting point they never really dove into. Like that, like they ain't never really give us enough facts and how he's rooting for Tony and giving him this information. That's a really interesting aspect.
Not just rooting, Spike. We might win this thing.
I'm on your side. Exactly.
Yes, like what you mean we?
It's really interesting, and the seed is planted right there with this. The Chris scene, it was okay. I don't think this was the proper way. Like they gassed us throughout the episode of this connection that they have, and then this is how it ends.
Yeah.
But I guess that's real life and how it happens like that sometimes. But yeah, cool.
What's understood don't need to be said, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. I can't do this. I can't do this.
For one another. And they're codependent
it's
too.
too much. Yeah, it's too much. Like I can't do this.
I think that's a big key. And more than anything, more than this, their passion for each other, they're codependent at this point. So it's deeper than just we just fucking.
That's the great thing, and I'm understanding this in real time. That's the great thing about the montage, and then this scene. It's like, bro, I can't be going to the moves with you on random days, smoking heroin in the car, fucking after we leave. I can't do that. I got a kid on the way. Like, this is just not something I'm able to do.
Yeah, you can't escape it. Like,
yeah, like I gotta end this.
Yeah, but you know what? Go ahead. No, go ahead, Rich.
I was gonna say, take one car, I'll follow you.
Yeah, that was such a good subtle. But you know, the reality is their relationship ended just like a high did. I think that's a big,
exactly
like how a high just that post nut clarity type of thing. Like it when the high comes down, this relationship, it's like it's so unsettling. It's just
that's a brilliant observation because that's the setup for the episode. Because when we look at it as viewers and we're like, well, why are they skipping around and giving us the montages and going through how long these days were, and you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Now we see this and how this ends, which is what the main episode exactly. Like now we ending this shit. Like this ain't finna be something that we stretching out for the rest of season, the B season of season 6.
Yeah.
This is over. And we had to give it to you like this so you guys can understand, like, this is what this type of relationship is like.
That's good. So it's like we're high off of the Kaisha. The Kaisha Kush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. Our last two scene, Tony visits Phil in the hospital, and Tony tells Phil about the hospital experience he had, and also tells him that he can have it all. Butch does not care for Tony at all. And then lastly, Christmas at the Soprano house, Carmela throws the PI card and calls the roofer. Tony snaps on Chris about some ice, which obviously is, pulling from the Kaisha thing. AJ brings Blanca over, and to be expected, they don't like the fact that she's not Italian. And pretty much that's kind of the wrap up there. Anything I want to add between the Tony Phil hospital visit and this Christmas at the Soprano house?
The Tony Phil hospital visit was very interesting because you do see that there might be light at the end of the tunnel, shared experiences, Tony being very intimate as far as sharing something he's never told anyone else, knowing that, hey, you and I are running this now. It ain't this deep. We all can eat. But it also, at the same time, as good as it looked and as warm as their embrace could be with the handshake, you still got, I can't think of my man's name.
Butch.
The little dude. Yeah, Butch. That's just blocking him on the way. Just a little bit enough tension to let you know, nah, it ain't all sweet. Like all of this. And I would have, bruh, Butch, what's up, bruh? What's up? Mm-hmm. Like straight up, what's up? You stepping, what's up? What you want to do? How you want to handle this? Because what you think about to happen? Like, Tony do the right thing. He ignore him and keep it moving. But it just lets you know, all right, then it looks like something might be cool. So we're going to lead into the next season or the second part of the season with that. But Butch is there to let you know, maybe not all the way. Even if feel cool, I ain't cool. And sometimes you got to remember, it's not the person in charge. It might be the person next to him. Maybe that person in their ear that's really the one like driving all of this.
Facts.
It was good to see Phil's wife going through it.
Yeah.
It was good to see her struggling and going through it, looking all fucked up.
Yeah, you're right. That was that we should have ordered rounds for right there.
Yeah, I feel like she deserved that moment.
But yeah, the Carmela thing. So I thought that was just a little subtle way. She had one card in the front, and then the other card she threw it on to the side. Which all of that stuff she had, and she pretty much focused on what she wanted to, which is the roofing thing. Yeah, it was just hilarious. Like Blanca. But Blanca kind of reads like, I think she don't realize like they not into it. Like it's not gonna be that type of thing. Like you're not gonna get in with them. This is like a very old school Italian family. Like they're not new age, bro. Yeah. Because I feel like Tony flat out like, no, I'm not feeling it. I feel like Carmela felt the same way, but she was on the high because I got my spec house, so I don't really care right now. We good, and plus I'm just happy to have my kid, some kid in the house, our kid, so whatever. But I feel like later on she was like, Tony, what do we look like? They kind of even have this, she's Puerto Rican, Dominican, maybe, whatever. So, but anyway, I
don't know. I think I want to hash out my thoughts and address it later because there's obviously more episodes that we could talk about this on. But
okay,
I'm not sure if I agree with you on that in the sense of she may have felt like she had good enough WAP to like overturn this situation. How Tony felt about her, how Carmela felt about her.
Well, they not getting the WAP.
I'm not sure. True, good point.
That's the whole reason.
But they know AJ though. And if if Tony using his street sense can look at her and look at AJ and be like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. I know why this woman is at my house on Thanksgiving dinner. My son ain't never seen no shit like this before, ever in his life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he know Tony's street smart enough to know that. I don't know about Carmela so much, but Tony know that. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what was the change in strategy for Blanca for her to be like, nah, you know what? I'm cool. I ain't trying to do this.
I'm telling
you. Because she had him.
She had him, but he can't sell it. she realized like, oh, I don't, he's not in like that.
Okay,
Like
gotcha.
if he was a
He not
boy
the dude
version of Meadow,
that I
like
need. Yeah,
yeah, if he was
true.
a boy version of Meadow, that who can,
Good point.
he's
Good
not
point.
Meadow. So it's like, oh, I got
Good
a
point.
dipshit kind of like, So he ain't got no pool, whatever. But that is our episode, man. That has been Kaisha. But before we get out of here, I'm very interested to see our favorite scenes, and most importantly, I'm very interested to see what our rank is, because this is one of the episodes I still wasn't quite sure where to put it. So without further ado, Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode? Is it a made episode, a good earner, or just another envelope?
This is a made episode. I wouldn't have said this. I wouldn't have said this either on just like randomly watching it, but on the rewatch and having to commentate about it and doing a podcast about it and speaking with you two fine gentlemen about this. There's so many things that are set up in this episode. Like this is a transition from we spent a whole season in season 6A of like what the fuck is going on? Like we meandering around, like I don't even really know what's happening. Versus this one is planting seeds for stuff, especially if you've seen what's going to happen next. A lot of seeds were planted in this episode. So it made me appreciate this episode a lot more. I got this as a made episode.
I like it. What say you, Rich?
I like it, Spike Lou. I'm not making it a made episode though. I'm giving it good honor. Mainly, I think there's just a little bit too much of the Chris and Juliana slash Kaisha storyline that I really just don't. It'd be one thing if it sets something up for the future, or Juliana's going to be around, but it was just a lot of her in one episode just to show us what was going on. It had meaning. It was intentional. It just didn't do it for me to give it a made episode. I feel like I would have been giving it away. So I'm gonna go with good earner.
I like it. I like it. I like the type of talk. For me, I was back and forth between made and good earner, but I think after this review, it's a made. It's a lower made, but I think there's still, for time constraints, we can't get into every little detail of every little thing, but I feel like there's still more to talk about with this episode. And if I could feel that way, that to me alone is a made episode, because like the fact there's still more to talk about, which is ridiculous when you talk about us doing 2.5 hours. So I have to give it that, and it didn't have a murder, you know what I mean? So and they still really, I'm not gonna say the stakes felt high, but I will say that the setups were so good that, and the internal like anyway, the setups are so good that it was worth it. So I'm giving
great
it a
points. Great points by both of y'all, man. Y'all got me almost wanting to change it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
But great points. Great points.
Oh man, that's both teams play hard, my man. Spike Lou, who gets the good earner chain for this episode?
The good earner chain for this episode goes to.
It's a really obvious answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the obvious route.
I made
y'all go first then. Y'all go first.
Rich.
AJ.
Oh no, but that is really good.
AJ is the obvious.
That's a good
he's
one.
A good earner, 100%. This is the most. This is the only episode I might have invited AJ to the lunch table.
Damn.
Yeah, he'll get it off for this.
Yeah,
you
like
that's you.
And you're
hey,
not
you know what?
Be,
yes,
you're not
that's
trying to
my
be
answer
anything
too.
other than yourself. Because even
that's
when
my
you
answer.
do the whole get them off the stoop thing, you did it in the AJ way. Like I'm not about to try to come out here and be tough and then be lumped up. I'm about to get y'all this bike. I'm about to barter. I'm about to use my skills that I know, and then that leads to me up here getting rocked by Blanca. So yeah, I got to give it to AJ, man. Like AJ was out here holding it down. He seemed normal. He looked like he got a goal. He got some drive to him. Like he up and at him at work. Like shout out to AJ, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me too.
And for real, AJ never has and never will again past this episode get a good earner chain from me.
Yeah, this is best episode.
This is his moment.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. If there was any, yeah. The obvious one to me, that was a good one. Carmela.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I got you. I thought I had your ass. Like the way I'm gonna take this whole route around, and now you go get my damn spec house together, you know. Right. So she got it off. So Broken Balls Award, Spike Lou, who took the biggest L on this episode?
Broken Balls Award, who took the biggest L on this episode? I gotta go with Junior. In just the sense of where he is, how isolated he is, like you said, I think it was you, Mo. We forgot about him. We didn't even remember he was part of the show no more.
Yeah.
And for Bobby to show up and him to act like he don't remember us not knowing if he remembers or not, like it was painful to watch for a impactful character for this show.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Rich?
That's a great one, man. Try not to steal that. I think it might have to be that, man. It is sad.
Junior.
Because literally the first time I rewatched this, I was like, oh, I forgot Junior
Mm-hmm.
was even a character in this show. And as we mentioned, Junior was one of my favorites in the show in the earlier seasons. So it's just one of those sad reminders. And it even gets even more sad as we get into 6B.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, what things were and what they could have been, it's just all over, man. So I gotta, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I'm going Tony. Like, just because to be in that position, like if we've all been there, and like to know, like, oh, you chose him, like that whole thing, and then that just holds a lot of weight.
The nigga Tommy Bone.
Like, yeah, that exactly, bro. That alone is like biggest, and this your nephew. You know what I mean? Like this the little homie. So whatever. But yeah, I got Tony as the broken balls. You got a favorite quote from this episode, Spike Lou?
Of course. I said it on the intro.
Whatever happened.
Whatever happened there. Whatever happened there. That's
a crazy.
Like, this made feel for a villain for me. This line, this scene, the intensity, how he responded to it, like all of this shit was fucking perfect in this world. Shout out to that actor that did that. Like this was great. And
it was.
Even like knowing the theory that Rich presented as far as Reddit and is Carmine being like deceptive and even bringing this up, and knowing that the response that Phil gave would be this type of response. One of the greatest scenes of The Sopranos.
Absolutely.
So that's mine. Whatever happened there.
Damn, that's the best one, obviously, of the episode. Rich, what about you, man?
I go out of my way to not have an affair with this woman. I go out of my way to not have an affair for this woman.
And this is what happens?
And this is my reward. my turkey neck of a nephew. Hey, come on, man. Tony out here wilding.
That's disgusting.
That is.
Just that mindset. The mindset of I go out of my way to not have an affair.
To not. Like, that's...
Man. Tony, you wild.
He has no restraint, bro. Like, I guess I'm gonna go with what she say? Luther Vandross box set.
Yeah, nah. That was my runner up. That was my runner up, Mo.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. Like, because it paused and neither one of y'all believed it. Like, that's what made, like, y'all, you didn't commit. He didn't like commit to it at all. Like,
hey,
I thought you were going to stop asking me questions. And then you keep asking, I got to keep lying. Like,
those are the worst conversations to have when you having a conversation with somebody and you know they lying.
Bruh.
And you're like, bro, like, why you do this? Like, why? I ain't even need you to do this. Like, I wouldn't let you know differently if you had told me the truth, but like, you just blatantly lied. And it wasn't even a good lie.
Nah, it's full of it.
What you doing, bro?
Lastly, your favorite moment of the episode, Spike Lou?
Phil responding to Carmine in the sense of the brother quote.
Oh, whatever happened there, that's that moment as well.
Easily.
The meeting of the minds.
Yes.
Put me down, Mo. Meeting of the minds is my favorite moment.
Meeting of the minds.
Episode, for sure.
Okay.
This how left it went. You literally were right there. Everything was cool. And he just, out of nowhere, just mentioned your brother Billy, whatever happened there. Like, bruh, shut up.
Yeah. Tony was like, all right. Like, try to help and, like, get out of there.
And my brother got what? Yeah, the shooting. Whatever happened there. Like, what do you mean? Whatever, bruh? Stop. You just
That's my brother though. For me, it's all of the Chris and Juliana scenes. Probably particularly the cafe, the breakup, because it was so subtle and they wasn't clear about it. And I liked at first I didn't like it, but now I watched it this time. I appreciate it. And I like the fact that we don't really want to end it. It's not like goodbye. It's like see you later, but you really not going to see each other later. So I really like all of the Chris and Juliana scenes. I think she was she's not a one-off character because she played in more than one episode, but she's definitely one of the best, just in and out characters to me, like because of what she means to Tony and Chris's relationship. She's just another essential piece that adds to the tension. So Chris and Juliana scenes for me.
Great.
And that's our episode, man. We're glad to be back, of course, y'all. We about to finish strong here coming up. So y'all stay tuned with us. I know y'all been waiting on it, but we've been waiting to do it. It's good to record with my brothers. If y'all want to reach out, goodearnerpod@gmail.com, or y'all can hit us up on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos, or you can leave a comment on our YouTube, man. We're everywhere you can find it. But what really would help if y'all leave an Apple review, on Apple Podcast review. That'd be really great. We would really be grateful for that. But in the meantime, in between time, thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, don't forget about it.